Hello there.
General Kenobi. No, sorry. Hello. How's it going?
Hello. How's
Um,
everyone doing? Boom.
hey,
Hello.
there we are.
There we are. It's kind of the this is the pre set before we go live. So hello everybody. We
Hello.
are here doing side by side. It's kind of weird. I'm aware that we're live.
Yeah,
Like
well, yeah, and you know what's cool is now we're actually side by side. How crazy is that? It only
this
took
is
us, almost 50 episodes.
we're
Finally
getting
got
there.
it.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Just to let everyone know, we are using StreamYard.
Hey, look at that duck.
Duck, 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 duck. So if
Yeah.
anybody would like to, start your own little podcast, StreamYard.
And if you know if that's a mallard or a duck, let us know. We'd appreciate it.
Uh, wow, you're right. I
A
can see a
mallard
difference.
duck? I
Yeah,
don't know if that's the same thing. I don't even know, man.
but we do
If you
have
know about
how.
ducks, oh wait, here we gotta get our faces in on either side, like we did last
Oh
time.
yeah,
Give
we
me a
did
show,
last time,
CJ. Yeah,
side by side.
try it. Are you there? Or are you just frozen?
I'm here.
I can't tell.
I'm
Oh, there
there.
you are.
You know what? You know what? I did screw us over. I forgot. There we go.
Oh, okay.
See.
And it's on a faster pace. I like it.
Oh, it's the
Oh
same
wait, there it
song.
goes. Oh no, I thought it was a little bit faster. I was like, oh okay, it slowed down. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we gotta let everyone the 2 minute intro. Almost. That's what we do. We warmed up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
It's Wednesday, June 2nd. It's almost 3 o'clock.
Feeling
So we're
good on a Wednesday.
yeah.
Shout out to South Park there. I am Lord. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Hot, hot, hot. I ate a lot of PF Chang's, and oh, Bono is not number two. He is a number two.
He is number two.
All right, I'll just play it once because it's live. All right. Actually, today we are doing. Hello, welcome, Side by Side Movie Podcast. I'm your host, CJ Robles.
And I am also your host, Benjamin Garrett. How y'all doing today?
Hello, Benjamin.
Hello, hello. Oh yeah,
Uh,
I used my full name there. I know it just kind of came out. Sometimes I feel formal, sometimes I don't.
it depends. It depends. It depends.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. It's the beard. There's a play of the beard. It's what you remember. He's up. He's serious. He's down. It's all fun. There he goes.
Look, I can cover my whole face up.
Oh man,
That's what I use for a mask. Actually, it's
I
just
can't
I
even.
fold my beard
You
over.
felt your bill. Felt it. Well, today we are doing. Speaking about masking and having to cover up, we're doing Zack Snyder again. We're going down to the Snyderverse. And which movies are we doing today?
Well,
Bam!
there it is, right there.
We are doing Dawn of the Dead, 2004, rated R, 141 minutes. A nurse, a policeman, a young married couple, a salesman, and other survivors of a worldwide plague that is producing aggressive flesh eating zombies take refuge in a mega Midwestern shopping mall. Director Zack Snyder. Writers George A. Romero, 1978 screenplay. And then I totally forgot about James Gunn screenplay.
Yep.
Has stars Sarah Polley, Vin Rames, Mackay Pfeiffer. I totally forgot James Gunn was part of this.
Yep.
And then we're also doing Zack Snyder's newly released Army of the Dead, 2021, rated R, 2 hours and 28 minutes. Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. Director Zack Snyder, writers Zack Snyder, Shay Hatton, and Joby Harold. Stars David Bautista, Ella Prunell, and Ana de la Riguera. So, good old Ben, what'd you think about these movies?
Man, they're they're both solid. I have I've been a fan of Dawn of the Dead for.
Hey, can you, Ben, talking to the mic a little bit?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
Here,
sorry.
I'll get it over here. All right, I'll talk to you right there.
There we go.
Okay. So no, Dawn of the Dead, man. Ever since it came out in 2004, I've been a fan of it. Even as a kid, man, I wasn't really into horror movies all that much. Not a big fan of gory stuff or anything like that. This movie was just badass. It had, good action. It was a good story. It was, it flowed well. Uh, Loved it, man. Really did. It was it was a fantastic movie altogether. Didn't realize it was directed by Zack Snyder till way later. You know, whenever this was his directorial debut, was Dawn of the Dead. So, I mean, even on my Blu-ray edition of Dawn of the Dead, it says the director of 300, which came out like 4 years later. You know,
Yeah.
so that's kind of a cool thing to. I mean, your your newer movie retroactively affects your your previous movie that's already fantastic. Um, but yeah, man, Army of the Dead. It was it was a fun ride. There were things that there were a lot of long shots that Snyder's known for, um, and all that. It was almost like you know, a Zack Snyder movie that was gonna have a lighter tone to it, and it just yeah, I remember watching it and because I saw I think I saw Army of the Dead like the day it came out
Mhm.
on Netflix, and yeah, my initial thought was mm, I don't know. I just I felt like I'm not sure what could have been done differently, but there just it was not initially. I was not as impressed as I was with Dawn of the Dead, if we're gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
But that's the great thing about these movies too is my interest kind of spiked once Facebook kind of took over. I don't know if you do that, but like on social media, sometimes they'll have those like screen rants or all these other little clickbait ad stuff that you can look at, and it's like Army of the Dead. Did you see the aliens? Did you see the robot zombie? And like it was stuff like that. Spoilers, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, totally. This is side by side. If
yeah.
you know us by now, we're all about the spoilers. Serving them
So
up.
exactly. So it piqued my interest. I didn't write it off right away because I was like, okay, I missed some things. I at first I was like, you know, not my not my favorite out of the two, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take a look at it and be like, all right, yeah, it opens up more doors like of potential like answers. Like they even have that time loop theory where they're caught in a time loop, and that's why you see all these dead bodies like right by the vault.
Are you talking about Army of the Dead?
Yeah, Army of the Dead.
Oh, I was on Dawn of the Dead. I was
Oh
like,
no, sorry, I switched over a little bit ago. My bad.
oh, I was like, I knew you were talking because we usually we talk about both and we mix it and then we start off with the one that's older. And we keep going, but I guess we haven't segued into it, Dawn of the Dead yet.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I was just giving my 2 cents. My bad.
No, no,
Um,
no. Keep no, no. I get what you're saying about there's a
I
lot of
was just kind of giving my initial reaction of both
both
movies
movies.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of got into them, and I was
So
gonna
then let
see
me.
what you kind of thought as well before we got going. Um, but yeah, I mean the the peaked interest in Army of the Dead has. I mean, Facebook has definitely helped that for me because it was like, no, I didn't notice the aliens at the beginning of the movie, you know, and they even say whenever they're pulling off, it's an alien, you know, so just kind of stuff like that. But no, what do you think about these movies, man? What were your kind of first thoughts?
My first reactions as just like well going into side by side, like I have a different like mindset the way I watch movies nowadays, and then just just like knowing that we're doing another like Zack Snyder movie, like it's and we've done John Favreau, Kevin Smith, kind of it's like yeah we talk about what we like. So when I went in this one, I was like I I you stole the words out of my mouth. I didn't know that Zack Snyder was the director of this movie when it first came out until 300. And like you said, it's like an older movie being praised by, was it? No, it's like, yeah, the director of 300. And it's like, wait, wasn't Dawn of the Dead out first?
Yep.
But I mean, it just shows you horror. I always feel like horror movies age the way they're supposed to age. They age with time. They're also very diverse. There's not a lot of there are like horror movies. I mean, you always have a final girl. There was the yeah, I mean, Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero, the first one, the antagonist, I mean, sorry, the protagonist is a black guy, which is
Yep.
like a huge thing for back then. And now, like as you see times pass, it's like a huge thing. So that was like already in the horror world coming into this. So when Dawn of the Dead was coming out in 2004, I know I seen this movie twice. And then when we were talking right before you started, I have seen this movie a lot of times. I don't even know how many times I've seen this movie. I was already like, as soon as I started watching it, I was like, oh, like I was saying, I had to rent the movie,
Hmm.
and I rented it from Redbox, and it said, will we have the regular version or the uncut? And I was like, well, what's the difference with Zack Snyder? Because Zack Snyder could be a whole extra hour. And then
Yeah.
and then I read this is his debut, so I was like, all right, it'll be a little bit. So the runtime for the theatrical release is an hour 40, hour 41, and
Hmm.
then the runtime for the uncut is 150. So it's only a difference of 10 minutes. So I got the uncut one, and as I was watching it, I could see it's basically shot the same way. They're just little subtleties. There's just scenes that are drawn out a little bit longer,
Hmm.
and
Interesting.
it wasn't because the first thing that popped in my mind was that damn baby. I was like, oh, I hope they don't like, and that's a common thing in both movies, a birth of a baby,
Yeah, of a zombie baby.
a
Yeah.
zombie baby. Yeah, so it's, Zack Snyder with the zombie kid, and they have the like in this one in Dawn of the Dead, it's a remake.
Yeah.
So there was a an older version of it, 1978. Like I should have that up, like that information up. I'm trying something new this time. I'm trying to do some stuff that we could see
I
since
I like this poster a lot. Let's kind of take this poster down
it
real
is
quick.
pretty cool.
There's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth, and that's another cool thing about this movie too. He does have kind of the long shots, and man, I actually do have some notes. I'm gonna be honest. Our last couple podcasts, I've just been watching the movie, haven't been taking many notes, but this one I had seen enough, and because um, so I knew what was going on, so I was just able to kind of like notice some other little things that are going on. Um, but and we'll get there. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
this is
just
a solid movie. I even love the poster for Army of the Dead. I mean, I was
yeah.
admiring it whenever you first had it up there. Um,
Well, I watched Dawn of the Dead when it was released, but I was dating somebody, or I had to like I went to go watch it with someone I was dating, and it wasn't like it was gory enough where it was like okay, it's gory, but it wasn't super gory, and it was a good story to follow.
yeah.
My big critique about zombie movies, and it's something I found out too watching doing the notes, is you can only get so much information in a zombie movie. They're so hard to make. They got to be at least 2 hours. Like there's so much information, and I think this is why Walking Dead is was it. I don't know if it's still running. I think it stopped already, but it was a good run. Because the thing about the zombie, it's not the zombie itself is the scary. It's the other people,
Hmm.
it's the other humans are the element factor that's really scares you, and it's like what is a person gonna do, like are you like I know the zombie the all he wants to do is bite me. I don't even understand, are they eating brains at this point, or are they just infecting, or are they just like I don't
No,
understand.
it's yeah, because you always collate zombies and brains and everything. No,
Yeah, they're just
it's just they're
infecting,
just
right?
looking for human flesh. That's
and
it.
that and that's it, right?
Yeah, they're just cannibals. I mean, they even say that in Dawn of the Dead. This like we have hundreds of undead cannibals just like ready to eat
Yeah,
us. So
so I am at the part where they just got to the mall, and they're fighting the zombies. What's his name? Guy, I can't even remember. Like I felt like I was prepared, but I guess it's just live. His name it's Michael, but it's Jake Weber. He's
oh yeah.
the he goes into a sporting shop, and then it's Vin Rames, and he's fighting the guard, and you know what the guard's name is?
CJ.
No, the zombie guard.
Oh, Ben.
Yeah,
Ben
and
and
and then
CJ.
so
Yeah.
then I was like, this is the first, and it happens to be a Zack Snyder movie that the characters CJ and Ben are in the same movie.
Yep.
Snyder knows this already before we know
Hopefully it
it.
won't be the last.
We'll be yeah, hopefully
Yeah,
we'll
dude,
make
I
up
didn't even pick up on the Ben part. I did pick up on the CJ. That's hilarious.
because
Um,
my name doesn't really come out like the name, it doesn't come out in movies a lot.
yeah, and
And
yeah, Jake Weber. Actually, I watched a movie this past week on HBO Max. Those Who Wish Us Dead. I can't remember if I talked about this last time with you,
I think we
but
talked a little bit about it.
yeah, it was really good. It was a solid movie. I watched. Went and saw A Quiet Place 2 this past week as well. It was good.
Probably go
Went
do
to
that
the
tonight.
Yeah, we went to the theaters for the first time since the Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ben has they tell him I told his ass to stay upstairs.
Yeah,
Like
told him to stay upstairs.
that's something and
Which is,
then
I mean, it's yeah, man. CJ is a very interesting character.
I,
I like him a lot, actually, and you really don't like him all that much. You really see a lot of character progression in Dawn of the Dead, you know.
I gotta say, man, yeah, for the
And he's
for
a
character.
he's a fantastic actor too. Like he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's a West Wing character. I
And
think the what's up?
oh, he was also in what was it? House of Cards. He was like the
Yeah, he's
right
one of
hand
those.
man.
I'll say that for the CJ character played by Michael Kelly, man, like when I met, like I said, there's not a lot of movies with CJ, especially like this movie. The characters share the screen time very evenly. There's not like one person you're like rooting for. Anna, played by Sarah Polly, or Polly, gets you to the mall, and you kind of run into like Keith, played by Vin Rames, and then Mackay Pfeiffer, and then Monica or Andre, Monica, and Michael are all kind of run into each other, and they all say we're going to the mall. Which I started laughing because it reminded me of Shaun of the Dead, and then he says, "Where are we going? We're going to the pub." like,
Yeah.
like where do you go? Like, where like that's their and that movie came out in '04 too. So these movies simultaneously got released, and they both have like a we need to go somewhere, get somewhere. That these guys are like we need to get to the mall. And this guy's like we gotta go to the bar. One thing the that's the thing about the CJ character that I really liked is they are kind of complex. You think you hate him, but you grow to love him because he is actually the sacrifices himself. But the thing is, he's really just trying to protect himself,
Yeah.
and that's what you see. The guy that really pisses me off is Bart, played by Michael Berry,
Hmm.
the dumbass guy. Like I hate those guys, man, and just in real life in general. Just the kind of like the yes like they're kind of the second in command kind of friend in some weird way, or it's like I didn't like that guy. I was like really like I was like big on like yeah man when that guy dies you're like all right cool like
Yeah,
'cause-
and it's actually kind of funny that we start off with CJ. He's the one I wrote notes about a little bit. Um, it's almost like Terry and Bart, or is it one's like the little angel on his shoulder, and the one's the little devil. You know,
yeah
like, and he's kind of right in the middle, just kind of. Like I said, he comes in hot, and you're just like, dude, this guy's a total dick. But he's a dick for a reason. Like he's trying to survive. He realizes
yeah
what's going on, and this all happens so quickly. It really does. Like from that opening scene, I mean, it's just like bam, one right after another. Like somebody got bit. Okay, cool. And then the next morning, like it's already there. It's already spread like crazy, and um, it just kind of shows you how fast something like this can happen.
yeah
Um,
well
and what's
well
that?
the thing is like now that we're talking about it, the fact that the CJ character now because they are in a pandemic
Yeah,
situation, they are in a quarantine, and the fact that he's like not he's just protecting himself for himself, and you hear it in the dialogue,
yeah,
the whole time. Thing I like about this movie, the
and
one thing I
he
really,
and then like I said, spoilers, but he ends up sacrificing himself. Like I said, he finds people. Like it was almost like these are the first people around that he's been around that he actually enjoys. You
yeah,
know?
and also too, when he sacrifices himself, he like has a one liner, and
Yeah,
he already knows that he's like, oh, of course, like he knew he was gonna have to do that,
yeah. What?
like
Oh man, I can't just like I just got done watching. I can't for the life of me think of what he just said. He's like,
yeah,
I
it's basically like, of course, or
oh, I remember what it was. It was this fucking figures, and then
yeah, see,
he like it was. I think that's another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie as a kid. It's just like it was badass without trying to be badass.
yes, thank
It
you,
was
yes,
yes, it was just like it was badass on its own accord. Like it wasn't trying to be over the top. It was trying to be as realistic as possible, and it stuck to it. I mean, even with the flares, they weren't just shooting propane tanks; they had to have flares on them,
hmm
and so
it
you
gives
know
it that real authenticity a little bit
exactly.
more. I
And
mean,
the
there is a switch of powers here because those guys do get their ass kicked, the security guards, and they're no longer in control, but then they're part of the team.
Yep.
Dude,
Well,
I
once yeah, once they they finally need him. They're like, all right, cool. We'll, and then that's whenever Bart dies too.
Yeah, I mean,
Is
even like that, he has the freaking light. I would not go in there with a light. I'd be like, give me the crowbar, give me the croquet stick, but I'm not going in there with a light. Now,
yeah,
this is the first time we're gonna be doing one of these. Let's see if we can get that going. Hey, there we go.
I like this song was improvised.
Yeah, I did. So
While
I
they
did.
filmed it. That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
That's some good trivia. And I love that I'm all out of love.
yeah.
I'm
There's a.
so that's the song. I wonder if he did pick that song.
Oh,
Uh,
I do have something about that in here. Let me see real quick. Keep talking. Let's see. If,
oh
I
yeah.
got. So just for everybody that's kind of now that we're in season three in this in the same year. So we're just kind of. I'm since we have more capabilities to do things. I'm taking us a little bit. Let's see where we go with this. Let's.
So with Dawn of the Dead, man, shout out to the soundtrack. I mean, this movie has awesome music. First off, you start off with Johnny Cash. Like, hell yeah. When the man comes around, you really get that feeling like this is a disaster going on. Like this is a song you listen to at the end of the world. It really is because it's talking about pale horsemen and all this other stuff from the Bible. It makes you okay. Here we got some trivia. Director Zack Snyder personally chose most of the music used in the film. Okay, included "When the Man Comes Around" by Johnny Cash and Richard Cheese's cover. That's what it was. I knew it was Richard something. Um, Cover of Disturbed, "Down with the Sickness." So Richard Cheese, aka Dick Cheese. Um, Snyder was the only person who thought the song should be in the film, as most of the producers were against it. Well, that's because they had to pay for them.
Well, I would think, especially that Disturbed song. That I think they were just tired of that.
Yeah, but no, that's a perfect song for this movie, though.
Oh,
You
what I'm
know,
trying to say
like
is,
"Down
and
with the
that
Sickness," like, and even the
I get it, I get it. What I'm trying to say is, at that time when this movie came out,
yeah,
and that song was everywhere.
it
Oh,
really was.
you know, it was, and then like in a like this reminds me of the Blur song too. The woohoo dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
oh
That
yeah,
song got
because
overplayed. I mean, I love that song, and then I was like, all right, damn, you got to only hear that song in a little bit, not like woohoo.
they even had that
Dun,
in South Park whenever the losing edge. Woohoo!
That's what yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
you're absolutely right.
so I think that's what happened with that song, and he was like, no, like you're saying, he was like, no, this song needs to be in there.
Yeah, it makes it just sets the tone so well. It really does. It's you know, you have that opening scene of, you know, like I said, her going to work, her getting home, which she should have changed clothes. Don't just jump into bed after you've been a nurse all day. So, um, it looks like he had had a rough day too because she had to take off his shoes. And who wears shoes in bed? I mean, these are little things that I caught on to this time around because I was able to kind of dive. I didn't write it down, but it did kind of irk me a little bit. Like these people are gross. Um, what did
Oh,
you ever?
sorry, someone
Did
kind of wears shoes in bed once in a while. When
oh yeah?
oh wait, that's me. I would have stopped.
I try not even to put shoes on the couch, dude. Like it
I
just
was about to say that one would really get yelled at on the couch.
yeah. Like I mean, if I'm really tired, yeah, but no, that's it's a little much for me.
Hey, I'm at that scene right here where it's showing. Sorry to interrupt, but where the helicopter is flying over the mall and they have the SOS. Why don't
Yeah,
they stop?
because they're trying to save themselves. They don't know if they're infected, dude. They're the CJs of the world.
Uh,
No offense. Um,
there's only a few of us. That's good.
no, I mean, but for real, like if you were, I mean, they already said that Fort Pastor's gone, so
Yeah. So
it's a military helicopter, so they're just trying to get somewhere else, dude. They're trying to survive, and yeah, it's they have nowhere to go. They don't even know where they're going. That's my guess. So why pick up more people?
yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It just seems to me like it's very foreign. Like it's just leaving. But I guess like, what you're saying and what I'm interpreting is that they're just like, fuck it, we're gone.
Yeah,
Like we
well,
can't.
what can they do? Like I
Yeah,
said, you know, like they can get to the next base and hope that it hadn't been overtaken. But you know, hell, they even show it in the movie. They don't know how it spreads. They have this lady that comes in with a bite, and they deduce it on their own. You know, imagine the military, man. They're just taking everybody in,
that's
not
true.
knowing they're trying to cure them. It's a recipe for disaster, and especially like you think about it too. It I kind of mentioned earlier it happens so fast, but you have those people going to the hospital, you know, and
Yeah,
then they
the
get up
beginning.
and then hospitals are filled with people, especially if you know it's what Milwaukee, and it's probably like a hospital inside of town. There's
So, dude, yeah, and then that opening scene with the hospital, like there's so much information you're getting just starting off in a hospital without
yeah,
them telling you.
exactly.
This is I don't think this is an underrated horror movie. Maybe I don't think
I
I think
under it's undersold for sure.
undersold.
I think so. Well, I think it's written off as a zombie movie, and let's be fair. Like zombie movies really didn't get another kind of like you know big. Hey, let's watch zombie movies until Zombieland 2009, and then you have Walking Dead starting around that time too. So
Yeah.
that's when the zombie crate like this was okay. If anything, this is a movie before its time. If anything, this is a movie that started the new zombie, you know,
Well, because what you're exactly what
renaissance,
you're
if you
just saying.
will.
We just finished the vampire and the lichen phase,
Yeah,
and then they jumped straight into zombies.
yeah.
And you're
With
right.
not
Underworld
Underworld.
and
Was it
Twilight
Underworld? Okay,
and
Twilight was a
Twilight.
little bit. It was a little bit later on, but
But
still.
it was long. It was like what I'm trying to say is with those like that
I,
was
I
Twilight
guess
was
the
just
book.
way longer.
Yeah, I guess the book was really popular at this time. So
Oh
yeah,
God, the book. You want to hear my story about the Twilight book?
sure.
It's real quick. My female cousin was like, and I know I was like 20 years old, 21 when it came out, and she's a sister of a friend of mine. You know, we're close,
hmm
and she was like, "You like movies? You like books? You got to read Twilight." It's like, and I was like, "What's it about?" And she goes, "I can't tell you anything; it'll ruin it. But I'm just gonna tell you it's about vampires, and there's like werewolves involved." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." So we went to like we're in San Antonio and went to a couple bookstores and we couldn't find it. And I was like, "What the hell? What's going on? Why can't we find this? Why can't we find this book? I guess it's in high demand. I want to know what's going on." All right, and then we just driving around and we went to like 4 or 5 spots. We called their locations, and finally, somebody turned in a used one, or somebody like read it and returned it, and I was there. So I bought it from another guy. So a guy sold it back, and I was like, "All right, I'll buy it from him." So when I bought it, I started reading the book. I got halfway. I know I got farther than halfway in it, and because I at 2 points, I called my cousin. And I was like, "Hey, that you said I was gonna like this book. Like it's about vampires and werewolves, all right? But there's like a dreamy like high school movie. Like I mean, book. What the hell is this all about?" And then she goes, "You're in luck. The movie's gonna come out. Let's go watch the movie." And then it'll be better than the book. Watch. I was like, well, that's never a good thing. That's not a thing. And I went and watched it with her, and I looked around the audience. I was like, it's just a bunch of girls with their moms and dads, and
You got
yeah, this is,
conned, dude.
dude. She got me good, man. I watched the whole movie, and then being like, dude, that's that book I'm reading. Never mind. I'm not reading that book anymore. I'm not finishing that. And then the Hunger Games came out. Remember that craze when that
Yep.
started?
Uh
Well,
huh.
then my other friends, I have my female friends. They're like, "You need to come watch the movie with us. It's based off a book." I was like, "Wait a minute. I'm very selective on my." And then they explained the Hunger Games to me, and I was like, "Well, that sounds like a pretty cool idea." And then I went to go watch it, and as soon as I sat down, there was also boys in this one, so there was like high school or not even young elementary or not even elementary, like junior high, like
Probably in
just
middle school.
kids,
Yeah.
middle school kids
Yeah.
there, and their parents, and then us. And then I was just like, what the hell? And then I started now I watch Hunger Games. And I was like, oh, is this what's going on? Is this like their X Men when I was growing up? you know,
Yeah.
like when I used to go to the movies to watch X Men. Is Spider Man? Is this? I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But this is just, I don't know. It's okay. I'm not saying that I don't like them or anything. I was sold on something
The
else.
original Hunger Games I enjoyed a lot.
The the first
Yeah,
movie.
the first one.
Okay, so does it? I didn't keep up with it
It,
after that
I
first one.
didn't need to see the other ones. I ended up watching them, but that was just because I knew there was an extended story there, and I was interested. That it was just more of the same, dude. The
Do you
third,
know who's in?
what's that?
So no, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna say like you lost Woody Harrelson in the first one. I don't need to keep watching,
Uh,
but I did.
uh,
You know,
but the thing is, you have a character that has been offender here on Side by Side by the name of Stanley Tucci.
he's
Uh,
re-
he
he
he's
he's
in
re-
a
what did
he's on
he
jury
like?
duty.
He jury duty. And what else was
No, no,
he?
no. I'm just saying he's been on the
Oh,
show.
okay. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
So and not on the show as himself, but the character, the actor. But he was Stanley Tucci, and then that got me thinking. You know what? We could probably shoot Jerry Duty too now with Pauly Shore. The character he plays in Jerry Duty gets out of escapes from prison now is after everybody because in the 20 years that he's been locked up, the environment has gone left and right. Like it's been good and bad. Like it's been
Dude,
like he's like and then people are recycling, but they're not recycling right. More people
Jury
like
Duty 2: The Revenge. Um,
something like that. But that's down the line. I will, well, that'll be a side by side creation. But I was just gonna go with
we'll write it, and Pauly Shore
he will
he
do
can
it.
star in it. And yeah, Pauly Shore's a repeat offender on here too.
He's always gonna
Repeat
repeating,
offender. We
offending. He just
actually,
offends. He likes to offend.
yeah, we actually
But
have some repeat offenders in Dawn of the Dead.
do we have well, I'll put that talking about repeat offenders here.
Yeah,
I'll share this with you. Check this one out.
actors Ken For, Scott H. Rayner, and Tom Savini all appeared in the original 1978 version of the film, but playing different characters.
So the priest
Okay,
is Ken Foree, and then Tom Savini was the sheriff. I don't know Scott Rayner, but Ringer, but
maybe it wasn't the guy who was saying like when there's no more room in hell, the dead will.
that's Ken.
That's Ken.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, and
yeah,
he's like the main one in the 1978, one of the main actors, and then you know who Tom Savini is, right?
yeah, dude, he's a repeat offender.
He's a repeat offender here, and then
Yeah, from Dawn of the Dead,
the,
or from
Des,
Dust Till
Dust Till
Dawn.
Dawn, but
Yes.
he's got his he's a prosthetic guy. He
Ah,
is cannot say what. Oh God, I need to delete things. Hold on, let me shut this. Where are you still on? Yeah, no, he's from he's the Friday the 13th what do you call it? Special prosthetics makeup. He's the effects guy
huh.
in the part one and then part four, and then he does a lot of this stuff, man. He's I know he had to help out with Dust Till Dawn. I don't think we brought it up, but you know I've met him 2 years ago, and I'm hopefully meet him again this year at it's one of the cons. But he's got a lot of talent, man. That guy's been in a lot of things, but also more behind the scene, behind the cameras than in front. But he does have a lot of in front of the camera action, mostly horror movies. I will say that this cast that we have here in this movie, like that's the big thing we'll see when we get to Army of the Dead is the cast is completely different than these guys. I mean, they're different characters, but this movie, Dawn of the Dead, you have to fill in the gaps, a lot of the gaps yourself.
Yeah.
The movie itself doesn't really like it doesn't really say things for you. It's kind of a I feel like Army of the Dead is definitely an action horror movie, where Dawn of the Dead is just a horror movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Well,
and
and
but has a lot of action.
let's see here. Army of the Dead is like it's like a heist movie mixed with a
It
uh
was a zombie movie.
yeah, with a
Wow.
zombie movie. And that's why I don't know, and it also tries to be lighter. It's not as serious as most Zack Snyder movies, you know.
Mhm.
It has very cool uh premises like sacrificing you got to sacrifice one and then they won't touch you, like that kind of stuff
Oh, when you we'll dig deep.
with
We'll dig
Army
deep
of
into
the
that because
Dead.
I got some questions about that.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
that's.
Well, and that's the thing about Army of the Dead. It's like it raises a lot of questions. It really does. It raises a lot of dead.
I'm here also getting the new cast members in that like Ty Burnell's in this movie,
Yeah,
and man, I didn't see Modern Family until like season 5 or 6, and I mean I knew of it, but I didn't get into it till 5 or 6, and then
he's a
when
totally different character, dude. It's
dude,
crazy.
this is opposite. No, but he's a great actor. He's
He
one of my
is.
like favorite just cameo actors that comes out. He plays like this Nazi German guy on Key and Peele,
Yeah,
and the boy he does the voice is funny. No, but he's and then he has he bangs that chick in this movie, and
yeah.
it's also like he doesn't come off really as the snooty guy, and but it's the things they say about him, like when he's like, oh, you're gonna help out, and he goes, oh no, the captain doesn't work with his crew or something like that, like he's kind of a smart ass, but you don't have to really, you just pick up on it, kind of pick up that he's that guy because the way he looks, his character, he's a great actor. I'm a big Ty Burnell fan. Um, there are some horror like guys that are Boyd Banks, the guy Tucker, the guy who
Repeat offender, you mean?
oh yeah, he's well, I was trying to he's in a lot of movies. Which one is he repeating over here?
Good old black sheep, my friend.
Yes,
Cash.
Cash.
Yeah.
Yes, because he's also in Harold and Kumar,
Oh,
the
was
first
he?
one. The first one.
Nuh-uh. Oh,
He's
okay, okay.
he's the guy that gets shot in the chest with Ryan Reynolds. He's like, you know
Yeah.
where there's a White Castle? Yeah, you know where that 35th Street? Yeah, just go over there. Yeah, he's a repeat offender. Boyd Banks. Let's see. One of my well, there's a character in here who has a small. There's an actor in here who has a small role of Frank, played by Matt
Yeah,
Fewer, and I was
well,
like,
I
"What's up?"
thought he was Doug Jones for a minute. I was
I
like,
could see that. I could see
you
that.
know that, but he was in Watchmen, another Zack Snyder movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
Oh
was
wow,
one.
yeah. Well, Matt Fewer, he's a stand-up comic. He's got a he's I remember him from he had a show. He's been doing a lot. Matt Fuhrer has been traveling all over North America in his recent months filming recurring roles. Most recently, he worked in Los Angeles for HBO's Perry Mason and Austin for AMC's Fear of the Walking Dead. Is that a show?
What? Fear
Fear of
of the
the
Walk?
Walking.
Yeah,
Apparently,
it's a continuation.
man, they've been filming that here in Austin. I don't know anything about it. I
Yeah,
hear
dude,
some people talk
it's
about being on set, but I don't know. I don't know anybody that's on that movie.
apparently it's really good. It's been okay. It's been going on since 2015, and
Yeah.
it's like it's along the same timeline as Dawn of the or Walking Dead.
Well, I'm just like I'm wondering when did they let the actors know? That's how do we how do we do that? So there was a movie called Max Headroom. That's for Matt Fuhrer. That's his it's got I think it's a post no it's a TV series, and that's where in the near future an intrepid investigative TV reporter does his job with the help of his colleagues and a computerized version of himself. It's a future show. It's pretty out there. But yeah, he's yeah. Also, I forgot he was in Watchmen. He plays the retired
Yeah.
supervillain.
Hmm.
And who else do we have in here? Mackay Pfeiffer,
Yeah.
Papa Doc. You might know him from Eight Mile. That's Papa Doc. But oh no, he's not Papa Doc in Eight Mile. He is
I can't remember his name in a mile.
not Future, is it? Oh God dang it! It's gonna mess me up. Papa Doc is the no, he is Papa Doc.
Damn, that zombie. I was just in Army of the Dead. I was watching it, and the way she runs, the queen runs away. So weird looking.
Dude, I gotta say, what do you think about zombies that just the slow ones or the fast? I hate those fast ones. I hate those. Yeah, it's Future. David
Uh,
Future Porter is his name.
I I enjoy the fast ones in Dawn of the Dead. Honestly,
I don't.
the ones that are okay. I like how they had in Army of the Dead. I like how they have different tiers of zombies. Like you have shambling zombies, then you have um, alphas. The alphas move fast. The other ones don't. I kind of like that. That's kind of it's like a hierarchy of um, zombies, which is kind of why you have an army of them. You know, it's like the lower level. Like yeah, it's interesting. It's just
I
interesting how
I
it's set up.
I took that too. I can't even understand how it works though, because Army of the Dead, I didn't even take it as the dead army. I took it as the army going to fight the dead. But you're right, should be a dead army.
Yeah. Well.
And because in Dawn of the Dead here, they're figuring it out.
Yeah.
they're they're figuring out what's going on, the bites and everything. Because Frank's character obviously gets shot because he's going to turn. Well, he dies, and then they
Yeah.
just,
He dies and then
and then
turns.
Ken just shoots him. Um, there's a lot of things with this movie that are very horror movie about it, and it's 17 years old. This movie has aged very well.
Mhm. Oh,
This is
sorry. Yeah, it's definitely a horror movie first. Like without it, I wouldn't. I would definitely classify this. I wouldn't even say zombie movie at first. I mean, it is obviously a zombie movie, but I would call it a horror zombie movie.
oh that you're saying the more of the yeah, it's more of a
Yeah.
horror movie opposed to what would you call them? I would still think Army of Darkness is a horror movie, but it's
Our
got more of
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Yeah.
No, I would. I mean, I wouldn't even say that's a horror movie at all. It's
Well, let's.
yeah. I
I
would just
guess.
say yeah, I know you would almost like okay. I think before Zombieland, you would kind of qualify zombie movies as horror movies exclusively. Um, but then you have zombie movies like I said, Zombieland. You have Warm
Well,
Bodies with
well,
Nicholas Holt,
the
and so
whole genre had to change. I'm assuming because they wanted to make more movies. So you make
yeah,
another. You have to go deep into the zombie world, and where do you
yeah.
go? Because
Oh,
once
and
the
then
human,
Shaun of the Dead. Excuse me, sorry. That was
yeah.
like I said. That's like I
See
said.
that
Both these movies kind of started that like zombie renaissance. I feel like we'll call it that since it sounds so cool. But let's see here.
well,
I
Shaun of the
wonder what
Dead is
IMDb.
I
What's
was
that?
yeah. Shaun of the Dead. I totally see it as a comedy. It's kind of weird that we're talking it like that. Like I don't even see it as a horror movie, but there is
No, but
horror. There's a lot of
yeah,
horror in
okay.
it.
So see IMDb action for Army of the Dead, action, crime, horror. And I think it's just honestly they should have zombie as a genre, not maybe necessarily a genre, but it is kind of its own genre now. You know,
Dude,
like
yeah. I'm,
what
I'm.
what
What does it
what
have for
would come?
Dawn of the Dead?
Uh,
Because I'm trying to find it now. Because I remember they moved it, everything on the website.
yeah. Now, what would you classify? Like, what would make something a genre to you?
The
To me,
genre.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, that's it's the subcategories you're interested in. And it's not the actual
okay,
genres. You're
yeah,
into like because you're into
subcategories. Okay,
subcategories. Where I'm just more like, is it a horror? Is it a comedy? Is it make me laugh more? Does it make me feel more? Does it make me think more? Is it a thriller? Is it a mystery?
yeah.
Those are your genres, and then your subgenres are the other like
Subgenre. Okay, that's what. Yes, thank you. That's what I was looking for.
yeah. So if you're like for me, like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like I'm actually stuck on the because I'm using the desktop
Yeah,
and it usually says it. Okay,
action horror.
action
Yeah,
horror right here.
yep.
So, man, you know what? Because it's like it feels like a real like Dawn of the Dead feels like a real like what would happen scenario. And that action is in there because there are points of spikes of like there's not as much dialogue as Army of the Dead, and once we get there, you'll see. I feel like there's more action, as in not in the sense of a movie. I mean, as in like action title, like there's more movement in a Dawn of the Dead, where I feel like there's more dialogue in Army of the Dead, which sounds a little bit redundant because it seems like a different. But what I'm saying is, whenever there's action, there's a lot of action in Army of the Dead, and then when
Yep.
there's action in Dawn of the Dead, there's just high points. It rides it like that. It rides up and down. And then where Army of the Dead, I feel like it had there's a lot of slow times in Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
Where Dawn of the Dead, it's not like that. It's I mean they have this baby element that's right in your face in Dawn of the Dead, and then in Army of the Dead you don't know until you pick up that they have emotions and stuff. Um, as of my zombie, I guess we should stick on the zombie part of it because my zombie, I don't really like that they run, but if they're easy to take down, I don't know if they're like the superhuman strength shit kind of sucks.
Uh,
Uh,
it okay. So I think with the zombies and everything, with being an infection and biting and stuff like that, it's almost like you have a feral human. You know. So if your instinct is to get food, if you're craving that, then I don't. You know what I'm saying. Like it would be like, oh, why would you just walk? You only have a select like supplies running out. What happens to all the zombies once there's no more humans? You know?
yeah, they're gonna turn on each other. No,
No. Well, very well made, but
The-
like I said, it's just like how are all these zombies still alive in Army of the Dead?
well, also keep in mind, I did find something out. Let me see. That these two movies
Could be
are
connected.
they're not connected.
Oh, they aren't.
No, they're not. They're not connected.
There
They're
was a I saw this thing where Tig Notaro had like on her phone the zombie outbreak in Milwaukee of '04.
uh,
It was I just saw a picture of it. It was like a screen rant thing on Facebook, and I clicked on it and like
oh,
was
okay,
reading
okay.
about it. Yeah.
No, I didn't know about that. Well, sorry, no wonder I'm in the wrong thing. No, so the Dawn of the Dead and Army of the Dead are not in the same universe. So this is not like a 17 years later. That's like its own story.
Yeah.
Was what I got off of IMDb. I think see the thing about Dawn of the Dead, it has a lot more of that human element, where the decision making, the part where Anna's like breaking down crying when she has to get changed. The movie happens kind of fast and slows down. There is one thing I did kind of want to bring to the wheelhouse, and it was called the goofs. Hey goofs. And I was like, hey, we have. Oh, not that. Sorry, let me delete some of these. And if I was like, you
Oh,
know
you
what?
talking about the goofs on IMDb?
Yeah, there's some goofs
Oh,
there,
dude,
and
I hate reading those. It almost like takes me out. Sorry.
well, no, I was just reading it because they're just something. These shouldn't. While they're stocking up on ammunition in the gun store, the music from the gun store in the original film can be heard playing very lightly in the background. So they
That's in the
didn't.
goofs.
No, I call it. That's a goof. Yeah, that's a like a. Well, that is a goof in a movie. They have two they have two audios playing over each other.
Uh,
They actually had a music playing because in the shoot the scene as a film as I would shoot it, I wouldn't want that music playing. I'd put it in as Foley or background later. But this got caught. So there are some stuff I was looking at. I was like, hey, look, there's some goofs here. The Andy character, like having a relationship with somebody who's like a gun store guy. Like I'm like, why didn't he just like waste his time shooting down at the zombies? And then you see there's like a lot.
yeah. Well,
Did you hear the,
yeah,
like
they do. They just well, okay, and also they say, I think it's like in the broadcast, it's like we don't know whether they do stuff off of memory or stuff like that, and you have to assume that they do, um, because I mean, Andy, that's the first thing he does is goes back up and like starts writing on the board, you know?
That's true, muscle memory.
Yeah,
So yeah, that is something I was trying to like think about I see it in the second one. I mean, the Army of Darkness. Sorry, Army of the Dead. I gotta stop saying that. Where you see the parkour guys start doing these moves, and I was like, yeah, that would kind of be weird if you had a zombie that was a parkour. It'd be hard to take down. Like
yeah.
be jumping around, flipping. Um, they shows you how they're passing the time, but like, why does the furnace? Why does the generator go out? And then
The
I can't.
generator goes
Yeah, I
out.
remember it goes out because that's how Bart dies. He goes down at the, and then they
Well, I
Michael
think
that
were the zombies messing with it?
no, I think they just hadn't been down there. Or I don't know. I think
Well, actually,
what's
was it? Did they? Okay, did the electricity finally go out, and then they needed to go start the generator?
something like that probably,
Okay,
huh?
I think that's probably what happened because this movie is, I mean, not to say it's based in reality, but it has some very like practical moments in it. Um, I also have to say too that Left 4 Dead 2, I mean, a lot of elements from that game are in this movie. Like play in a mall, you play or like you go to a gun store, you go through the sewers at one point, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting too. That it's almost like you're playing, and you have chainsaws, you have crowbars, like all these
Oh, I remember.
things.
You know what? I didn't play it, but I remember seeing the commercials.
Yeah.
And
Oh, dude, it's
when did that movie come out? I mean, that game come out.
2009,
All right, so it's not. Well,
and even
yeah,
today, it still has a pretty strong following. I mean, it has pretty good online presence. Not to lie, it's pretty crazy. They even had an update for it this past year.
oh,
Um,
so you can like the map or something, the
yeah,
characters.
and it was a fan update. Like it wasn't the creators doing it. It was like
I love that.
the community.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, it's pretty crazy the similarities. But Dawn of the Dead too, man. Or the first Dawn of the Dead. Ving Rhames, he's a Marine. He has the U.S. Marine Corps tattoo on his arm. And even Mackay Pfeiffer, he's like, "What are you, a Marine or something?" Whenever he's talking to Michael, and it like shoots the camera looks at Ving Rhames and then comes back.
Yeah,
So
so he's a cop. He's a former military.
exactly. So they, like I said, he never says that he was in the Marines or anything like that. It's just very heavily implied, and I think that was what was cool about this movie too. Is like you just had to put pieces together. It wasn't giving you everything, you know.
Yeah, I like that you don't ever find out why they're infected. You
Nope.
know.
And then what is it? I mean, all this happens in a matter of days, you know. Um, too. That's another thing. It seems like you feel like it would be months and months, but it's like days that this happens.
You don't even
Um,
think about that. I was trying to figure out how long the time frame was of them being in
well,
there.
okay, so I say days, but from them being in the mall to from them getting to the mall, from them leaving the mall, I would say would probably be about at most
A week,
Oh, I would say at most 3 months because they
three
got to get
months.
everything together. Then again, it's not like they have a lot of things to do, so they could probably get those
Yeah,
trucks up and ready. Yeah, it may be, yeah,
I,
like a
I,
week or
I
so.
I think, man. I mean, it's 2004, so we're gonna think 2004.
I would say
But
a month at most.
I mean, I mean, just it's kind of weird. Like, how do you? It's such a huge place, the mall, and then you have
Yeah,
to cut it off, and you have to shut down the stores. Like, I'd go through every store like that scene where Michael opens it and he sees that guy. I'd shut that door right away and be like, all right, we got one in here. Come on.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
wouldn't want
and
to fight one.
yeah, and that's I actually wrote that down in my notes, man. I mean, they break rule number one, like I said, playing a lot of Left 4 Dead. You got to stay together. If you don't stay together, man, you're gonna die. And they break that rule a lot.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Well,
man.
even the Andre character with Monica, like the way he's like going up there, I would be like, all right, I got to see her. The girl's a nurse. She's pregnant, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
yeah, yeah. You know, you can respect privacy all you want, but
and
no.
then the thing is, it doesn't even. You have to. It kind of just shows you she got bit, but I mean, she doesn't. You see the attempt of the bite, but you don't see the bite. But then you assume she got. I mean, you kind of can see. Like they kind of. I like that about Zack Snyder. Like they kind of just put it in there, but they don't like. And then like they don't give it. They don't like just tell you. But this being a remake, does this mean that he's trying to stay close to the original story, or is it just using the same elements from the past movie?
N-
I really
I
don't
think
understand.
I think it being a remake is. I think it's strictly in name only. I think
Oh,
it's. I
okay.
think me personally. I mean, I'll be quite honest with you, man. I haven't seen the original Dawn of the Dead. Um, so you have. What do you think? Are they in a mall?
No, yes,
They are.
yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say
Um,
because I also get confused with Night of the Living Dead, but
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
original
That's
original.
okay. Let's see here.
So
But and that's another thing too. Is like, yeah, this one, Dawn of the Dead was like, okay, 1978. Let's see
78.
here.
And speaking about movies from the 70s, Rocky is on HBO Max right now. I would recommend giving that a
Okay,
look. That's a good one.
I will. Let's see here.
1976, Rocky,
And they won the Academy Award, right? For that one.
Oscar, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
or yeah. And actually on this poster too, it said, where there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. It says that on this poster as well.
that's
Um,
I guess that's their tagline, huh?
yeah. First there was Night of the Living Dead. Now, so I'm guessing this is the second one. Is that correct?
Which one? The
The
It's Night of the Living Dead, and then because 19 Night of the Living Dead is like that's 70 74. Let's see what it
yeah,
is.
it's the one that's black and white,
Yeah, it's
right?
black and white. Night of the Living Dead is 68. God, I'm really off. See, because then, see, okay, so here we go. IMDb, they have Night of the Living Dead 1968, and then they have Night of the Living Dead 1990. And those movies are very similar.
Okay, so okay, here I'm gonna read the synopsis on IMDb for the '78 version. Following an ever-growing epidemic of zombies that have risen from the dead, two Philadelphia SWAT team members, a traffic reporter, and his television executive girlfriend seek refuge in a secluded shopping mall. Yep.
And you know what's cool about these? Because I do get them confused, man. I'm looking at Night of the Living Dead, and I was like, damn, I was confusing it with the other one. And then, God, it's such a. I get what the remake is. It's just kind of a modern version of it.
Yeah. N-
So okay, that's what we're looking at here. Okay, because yeah, see, it gets a little confusing. You have two Night of the Living Deads, two Dawn of the. We have a few Dawn. There's always something of the dead, and the time frames. But what I wanted to share with you was since we're going into characters and we're basically moving off from this movie, moving on to the next. I was going to share what I found on the good old IMDb.
What you got?
When
Let's
Vin
see here.
Rames heard of a remake of Dawn of the Dead, 1978, was in production, he tracked down producers to be in the film.
Hmm.
And I kept reading, and it says the name of Vin Rang's character Kenneth is obvious nod to actor Ken Foree, who played a similar role in the original Dawn of the Dead, 1978.
Interesting.
Vin Rames came to them about starring in the film, saying, "I want to be in this movie because the black guy lives."
Yeah, that's badass.
And then Vin Rames was also the first choice for the part of Kenneth, so it's a full circle. Like you get what I'm saying? Like these pieces, these notes are just kind of scattered in the trivia. And I was like, wait, this is a whole story right here. Basically, Vin Rames wanted the role, and they wanted him to do the role. They just kind of needed to kind of meet up.
Well,
And he's right. The black guy does live. That was a stigma, you know.
and it still is today, man. You know,
The black guy dying first.
yeah. Well, not first, but
Well, that was that was that
not
was
making
that.
it all the way through. You
Well, no,
know.
that was the thing though. In
Yeah.
the 70s, 80s, it was the black guy dying first, and a little bit in the 90s, and then it changed a little bit. Now it's like him getting to the end, which not to say that all movies like that, but that was like a big deal. It was like the black guy dies first.
Yeah.
And now I think about it, I was like, well, I don't know why that is a thing. Like going over them,
Yeah.
like why is that?
Well, hell, what was I gonna say? That's yeah, I was gonna say something, but we're good on spoilers for right now. I don't wanna
I
like
think
I went
yeah.
I went to the movies for the first time this week, saw a movie, and that's why I kind of had my comment. It still is a kind of a thing, but
Oh, with that. Well, I'm not saying like it happens, but it's not. That's what I'm
it's
trying to
not the
tell you is
first. Yeah,
it's not. What I'm trying to tell you is if there was 10 movies out around like let's say their time frame, you're gonna get all 10 of them with the black guy dying first.
yeah,
Nowadays, like you're seeing it like that, but I'm I'm just letting you know that it's now it's they're out there, but it's gonna be sprinkled. Now you have black filmmakers like Jordan Peele, like we
yeah,
did,
yeah.
and you have
True.
you have other things. So there's the stigma back then it's kind of been addressed, but we just kind of move into it. It's the internet and the film world are two different things, but the film world lives on the internet.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
but that's cool too, though, man. That he really gravitated, to this film. That must have been, something that he watched as a kid or as you know, a younger being Rames and was like, wow, that's awesome. And it stuck with him that long, and hell, it even stuck with Zack Snyder to keep that going because you have that happen. And I mean, the black guy makes it to the end of Army of the Dead. You know, he's the last. He's almost the last
yeah,
survivor.
yeah, well, yeah. If you want to say he's alive, he makes it. But you want to
Well,
say
they're in a
he's a
time loop, dude. It's just one.
no. He's a it's his conspiracy. It's not the movie's conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
his theory.
Well,
Uh,
and oh man, this it's
the only thing I like about zombie movies is they other than like you have to hang in with them. The thing is they never talk about zombie movies and zombie movies. Like in Friday the 13th, they'll say like, "Hey, I've seen too many movies with a guy with a mask to know that this is good." You know, they do stuff like that. I've seen or like we saw Jeepers Creepers. Trish is like in movies. You know, you're aware that they're aware. In zombie movies, you never hear really people talk about zombies unless they're aware. Unless like World War Z, they already know what it is. Army of the Dead, they already know what it. They know where it's from and all that stuff. Where this one is kind of like the beginning phase.
could it be that there's so many options?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like with your zombies, they're either going to be slow, they're going to be fast, they're going to be, you know, there's a lot of. I think there may be more moving parts in it than. I don't know. That's a interesting point, but I feel like there may be an answer for it. I just don't know what it is.
One thing I like about Dawn of the Dead before we move on, it's not a dumb movie.
No, no,
there,
it's
there's accidents that happen with people, but it's like your characters are aware of things, so
yep.
they might not be aware that they're in a zombie movie or there's a zombie pandemic going around. But right here with the older character, was it Norm or what was her name when she gets shot
Oh,
by
Norma, yeah.
Norma when she gets shot? Like, see, that's she catches on real fast. Zombie, oh baby, and then she shoots
Shoots, yeah.
Monica on the head, and then this then Andre shoots her, and then she shoots him. It's back and forth, and then the thing that doesn't know you is the Nicole character, because she played by what Lindy Booth.
Yeah.
She's like the dog, chips, chips, chips. Like that's stupid. Like
Yeah.
where Kevin
Leave the
Zegers
dog,
character
man.
Terry should have played by Kevin Zegers. He should have told her like, look, I don't know if he should have told her, but somebody should have look, they're not attacking the dog. Like it doesn't matter. You'll get the dog back. It'll come back on its own.
Yeah.
It won't like I don't know that part really, but I was getting I was upset every time I see that part. But then this go around, I'm paying attention and they actually say we have to go get the bullets anyway, so might as
Yeah.
well. So I was
Might
like,
as well
oh,
go
I
for
never
it.
caught on to that they have to go
They
there anyway.
yeah, I mean, in all honesty, not to be completely mean, but I probably would have left her too.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I
dude,
mean,
I mean, and
pull
that's another
CJ.
thing too. Is like, well, yeah, I mean, that's a great thing about this movie is like, not only does it make you deal with loss and everything like that, you have to deal with oh, these are decisions that you have to make. These aren't
Yeah,
they
life.
aren't light decisions, and they're never going to be in these kind of situations. And it's a very apocalyptic movie. It's real. It's very real, and I do enjoy that. Um,
One of the rants that I saw was when Makai or Andre shoots the gun, and I don't know, I forget what kind of gun he has, but it's supposed to shoot. The bullets are supposed to fly to the side,
Yeah.
But in the movie, the bullets fall down, and somebody wrote like, "Yeah, those bullets aren't supposed to be like that." I'm like, "Oh God, it's a movie like that."
Yeah.
Those little things are the
But
things where I'm
see,
like,
and that's okay. That's how invested in this guy is that this is real. Is that he's willing to argue about bullets.
"It's true."
That's like more power to him that he made a movie so realistic. They're like, oh no, this is what makes it not real. It's not the zombies coming at you
No,
and this other
no,
stuff.
dude, he
It's
gets that.
that
He
bullet didn't fall right. It's not real.
he gets
Uh,
that part right. He gets all
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit.
He's like, no, this is totally realistic. And I mean, honestly, like I said, whenever it gets to like that point, like how do you react? I like I said, that's why I like CJ the most is because that's the person who you want to be, a cautious person that is willing to listen.
Oh yeah.
Because and that's what he does. I mean, he's like, you got a plan. He's like, okay, that's actually kind of a good plan. And then they start enacting what he suggested. You
And that
know,
is,
it's
yeah, that's true.
so. I mean, like I said, he's willing to listen. He's not going to just go off of your immediate decision. He thinks about things, and that's what you need to do. Okay, so that's my point about this. If you're gonna be in a zombie apocalypse, be like CJ. All right.
Yeah, I would be like him too.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I got to say about that. I really got to say that may be my favorite character in this.
A movie or
Yeah,
the French, yeah. And then the more you talk about him, the more because I was starting to pick up on that because I never like hated him. I was like that guy just seems irritated. And then now I was like I'm older now and I'm watching. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see why he should have never let him in. They should have never like because that's how you go. But then at the same time, you don't know what's gonna happen. That's like a huge mall for three dudes. There was four of them at one point, and one guy goes down and gets bit. So it's like they're in there.
yeah.
Real quick while we stay on the subject, I don't know what I would do with my time, but I honestly think just for my sanity, because there's no mental health really in this movie. There's a little bit. I think maybe nowadays there'd be a little bit more mental health issues, like as in people like panicking and breaking and a lot more of that. But I would
Yeah.
I would try to find like some kind of pole with like a sharp end or something,
Hmm.
or like I wouldn't use fire. I thought about it. I was like, no, you can't just throw fire on the zombies because then they'll burn the building up. So what I was thinking was like, so you get like a pole and just stab them in the head, and I would just spend my time all day just stabbing zombies in the head, but then as you start to see the scene where they're leaving the mall, and you're just like, that'd be a lot of freaking dead. That'd be hard to do. Like,
Yeah.
how would you? Because like, how would you really get rid of all those zombies there? Like, it'd be insane. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna run into people too. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know because even if I stood like I thought about this for a minute. If I stand on the edge of the building, I just plow them down and I just start stacking up the bodies. They'll start climbing on the bodies. So
Yeah, like
then
World War Z.
it's World War Z exactly. So it's like, well, what would you do when your time if you could? I would try to like kill as many like when it snowed when we had the snow apocalypse here this recently.
Yeah.
Like I was learning how to melt snow. I was like, just in case we run out of water, I want to make sure we have some kind of water backup. I
Mm.
was learning the proper ways, and I think I would have done something like that if I would have known our food was okay. We had food supply. I'd be like, all right, then I'm gonna go outside and try to just on the roof and just try to kill these things. Or I don't know. I wouldn't really know how to do it. Like I'd be bored, but also I would be so scared. Like I would
It's
scare. I'd
what
be scared of the blood. I would hate to get blood. I wouldn't want to get blood on me.
yeah. Well, you could wear like a suit or something.
That's
Like
true.
um. Oh, yeah, man. I don't know. I was asking. I was trying to figure out like I was asking myself where would I want to be in a zombie apocalypse? Would a mall be an ideal situation?
Maybe,
I think it would be.
maybe. I think it'd be good. Yeah.
It's
Well,
like you said, there's a lot of spaces, but I mean, the way that they have the mall set up, the way the security guards are like up top and they're in their little, nook. Yeah, no, that's an ideal situation.
I,
I feel like because you
I'll tell you
have
this.
food, hell, they even go down and get coffees every morning. I wanted a mocha latte, by the way.
Yeah.
You know,
So a couple episodes that Ben has said how malls are dead, but in this case, Ben would totally go to the mall. Well, no, but see, that's what I'm saying. Even if you were to go to a dead mall, I would still wouldn't be a bad because you have all those cages and you can protect yourself. I don't know if there was an empty mall. I don't know about that. I don't know if I go to an empty mall. Um, I don't know what
an
I do,
empty
man.
mall.
Like with a mall with nothing in it, just a mall that's bare.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Would you go to an empty mall? I don't know if they're able to make
Oh
these
no, no,
rigs.
no. I wouldn't. Okay, I get what you're saying. Like a
Yeah,
mall that's an abandoned mall. Yes.
yeah,
No, no, no. I wouldn't want to because that's the allure of a mall is you would have food supply.
yeah.
So that's why. Yeah, I would definitely go to an active mall.
A Walmart would
Um,
totally be out of this question, man. I would hate to go to Walmart.
oh hell no, dude! If I could secure a Walmart, I'll take that too.
No, but I'm saying that you'd have to only not only would you have to deal with a zombie apocalypse, like the zombies themselves, then you'd have to deal with the Walmart employees, and then you'd have to deal with the actual people that shop at Walmart on the regular. I'm just joking, everybody. Please don't get upset.
No,
There's three, four. There's
no.
your three tiers right there of
See,
zombies.
you're living under the assumption that you would have to deal with them, and you don't. There are no rules in a zombie
You just start
apocalypse.
shooting everybody.
Listen,
Just shoot
man,
everybody in the legs.
if if you say something stupid enough at that point, then I can't have you around. I'm sorry.
No, you'd be my leader if that was a thing. I'd find the dumbest guys. I just you're in charge. You got to go first. Go through that door right there.
Oh no, no, no. No, okay. Not even dumb people, just like you don't okay, you don't want Steve's, all right? You don't want Steve's at all, man.
No
Steve is the
steez.
worst because he said, "Don't fuck this up, Steve." Totally. And then, yeah, what does Steve go and do? Yeah, he fucks it up. That's exactly right.
Go fuck
Um,
this up.
God damn, dude. Steve is the worst. I really hate him. The only saving grace for Steve, for me, whenever I was a young 14-year-old boy, was that he videotaped stuff. That was the only thing that I enjoyed about Steve. Was like, all right, you got a camera. You're doing good. Cool.
He
Thank you.
likes to he likes to record it. He likes to Steve likes to kind of make the amateur movies because he has them on the boat and then he's
Yep.
making them and this he don't stop making them or maybe that's his character. Maybe he's a porn producer. Now as we move on from the mall, I'm gonna one final fact about here.
What was the name of his boat?
Oh, I don't even remember. I might have to look that up. But read that real quick. That was
One
pretty
of
cool.
the clothing stores in the mall is named Galen Ross. Galen Ross played the part of Fran, the original Dawn of the Dead. That's kind of cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on here um, in this remake. I think, man, I'm so glad that they did this remake too. Um, in the mall, I think it's really kind of it's a cool place to have a zombie movie. It really is.
Steve's shot to Lake Michigan. That's where they're at. Yeah, 'cause um, let's see. I don't know what the book. No, it just says Steve's yacht. It doesn't have a name to it on the Wikipedia. How much does this movie gross? Oh, see, this is it, dude. Look at this. This is what Zack Snyder's known for. 300, more like 300 million. Let's see. It was
Put that up
real.
on the bottom. Let's see what are the stats.
Okay. Let me see how I can do this real quick.
Yeah.
Let me see. Well. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'll do this. Let's see if we can get this going. While we're talking live, we're gonna try and let's see. How would I do that? That would be. Did it? Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, I'm just in. I'm watching. They caught me at a moment in Army of the Dead. That
I got you. You're what they got like me when I watch the movies.
yeah, like
Better. How do I do that? No. Wait, I'm in the wrong area. It gets a little. It gets a little. Oh, branding. There we go. Let's see. Would it be here? And then because this movie, yeah, Shauna, good old Zack Snyder there. Let's see, where's this? Would be a screenshot, wouldn't it? Here we go. I think this is it. Hopefully, this is not the wrong one. Wait, let me make sure this is. Yeah, let's try it. This looks like a. Let's see. Might have done it. I'm trying to. I'm learning as we're going.
let's see what we got. Let's see.
There we go. Yeah, let me turn this off.
Okay.
Where's the? Oh, you know why? Because it's under banners. Oh, there we go. There we go. See what it made?
Okay. So budget 20. Oh wow.
Exactly.
26 million and 102 was the return on it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
honestly, like whenever what they had like Strike as a production company, like distributed by Universal Pictures. So Universal picked it up. Strike Entertainment, New Amsterdam Entertainment, like who I never heard of them outside of this movie.
And
Uh
the release March 19th, 2004. So 10 days from my B day. I remember watching it around that time. That's cool. I remember I remember going on the date with this movie, and we were both like, oh, good movie.
Good
Like
movie. Yeah.
good movie. Like it wasn't grotesque. It wasn't. And also in the grand scheme of movies where you say everything, the boob shots not till the very end.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, right? You honestly like you got to stay till. I mean, you got to make it halfway through the movie for Steve in the mall, and then the
Well,
very
she's
end for.
but she's not even like she's not even fully nude in the Steve scene.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, dude. I was 14. I don't care.
That's what I'll take
I'll take
it.
what I can get.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah.
so I guess I will take what I get. So now we're moving on to 2021, I believe. Is it the what I just said
Yeah.
earlier? Yeah,
The
yeah, the Army of the
2021
Dead.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah. So let's just do that real quick. Boom. There. You go. Oh wait, is that it? Is that
Yeah.
the?
Yeah. That's it.
It, I don't think that's it. I
That's
think.
not. I mean, that's not the poster, but that's badass. I mean that's a good picture. I mean, honestly, I would keep that up. Uh, Army of the
But
Dead
the
prequel and anime series.
that's coming out. Oh wow, I didn't.
Oh, dude, this is too. No, this is old. This is
Yeah,
old
that's what I'm
because look,
saying.
you have Chris Delia in there
The Chris D'Elia. That's
or
what I was saying.
Delia.
So
Yeah.
I,
Oh
I,
wow.
I do want to talk about that because there is that they the one big thing about this movie, like that's the new poster.
Yeah.
They deleted somebody from a movie.
Yeah. This isn't the first time it's happened. You had oh, Kevin Spacey got deleted from that one
No,
movie.
no,
Was it?
no. Let me clear it up. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. He. Okay, so I know there's movies that they cut you out, like they stop taking the scenes from you,
Yeah.
but they deleted Chris D'Elia from this movie.
Yeah.
Like they made this movie with him in it,
And then oh okay okay yes yes
and
I
they
get
went
I,
back. You know
I
what I'm
get what you're
saying?
saying. Yeah,
They,
like
they
they digitally removed him and put somebody else in, whereas in the other movies they just did reshoots and cut it
hmm
entirely.
yeah, they
Okay.
did that. So they deleted his ass. He's not even on the well, I mean, he's not in the movie. He doesn't say any lines or anything, so he doesn't have to be credited.
Yeah.
And like that's insane, man. Like I'm looking at the cast right here,
Mm-hmm.
and well, just in case we should go back on the cast for Dawn of the Dead, but later when we're almost done.
Yeah.
But as I'm looking at the cast here, it's like I look at the character, Tig, was it No Taro? She's a comedian, right?
Yeah. 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 She's a comedian.
So she's a comedian, right? The thing I remember her from some. I think she did stand up on like Conan or something that I saw, but the role is written for Chris D'Elia.
Yeah. No, he was. This is totally his role, and but that's the cool thing about it is I actually like her character probably the most out of anybody.
Oh, I don't.
Really?
I think it's hard. I think they didn't give her. They're basically telling her Chris D'Elia's line. I think it was hard for her to make her own role because I honestly feel like that those roles, the way he is, the smartass thing, the way the lines come off, they come out good. Her, I think if it's not. What I'm trying to say is they basically just what I feel is that they basically tried to just like put her in the role because there are what I also found is I mean there's a few scenes that they use Chris D'Elia's I think body and they just her over it. There's a part I tried to take a picture of it didn't work out, but it shows like the hands of a man. There's a scene where they show up with the gun, and it looks like it's his hands, or it looks like a hand, or maybe I could be wrong. It could be her hands, but I was like, that looks kind of
Interesting.
odd. But then also too with her character and the whole Chris D'Elia thing going on, like I understand why. At first, I was like, dude, the dude hasn't even like gotten like he hasn't even gone to court or anything. They just kind of banned him on YouTube and and I'm not defending him. I'm just saying what I noticed. And when I was like, man, he got in trouble in June, and then they recasted the role in August, or he got in trouble in June and they had the role out in August, something like that, where it was already like they already got rid of him. And
Those are pretty damning accusations.
what happened?
Even well, like he was talking to a underage girl.
That wait, but that, what I'm okay. I'm not gonna. Before we go,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not trying to protect him.
No, 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 no.
Um,
I'm just saying,
and
like, okay,
but what I'm saying, there was no court involved.
no, no, but like, okay, so I'm not saying that you're trying to defend him. I'm
Hmm.
just saying, like, it's like a difference between Johnny Depp getting canceled and him getting canceled. Like Johnny Depp, that whole situation. You know what I'm talking about, like
Yeah,
him and
Amber
Amber
Heard
Heard,
or Amber, yeah, Amber, yeah.
and like he's going, like he is losing parts and stuff like that, but people are I don't know. I don't know where I was
I
going
don't.
with
I'm not
that.
trying to. That's a couple. I'm
Yeah, I
not. I'm
don't know
not
where I
trying.
was
I'm not
going with
trying to
that.
go in with that. What I'm trying
You
to say
keep
is,
going with what you're saying.
yeah.
I'm
What
just
I'm
gonna.
trying to. What I'm trying. I'm not even trying to like the. It could be any person who it was, Kevin Spacey, whatever. I'm more. Not, I'm like, damn. They could literally delete your ass. Like, they could say that you didn't exist in this movie whatsoever,
Yeah.
and that's insane to me. But it's just like I'm going by the justice system. He didn't actually. This is all accusations. Like what I'm trying to say is he didn't go to court. He didn't get. He got accused of stuff. It kind of went. It went under the bridge because now he's back on YouTube. He has his own channel again. What I'm trying to say is that like even if you don't even do anything, like you don't have to even proven guilty. You just go. You got kicked. That's just weird. Like that's like it's so fast nowadays. Like they can
Yeah.
pull you, gank you out. So that's where I'm amazed. Like Chris D'Elia. I mean, his comedies is for kind of 17-year-olds. So if he's
But
ch-
imagine if it was true and you kept him in the movie.
no. So this is where I caught on,
Yeah.
where I was like, oh, no, that's the hard part. That's down the line. The
Yeah.
main reason I caught as soon as I caught the other character, played by what's his name, the Burt Cummings, the dude, played by the Tayo Rossi.
Mhm.
He is an actual in the movie. That guy is
Yeah.
a pervert offender, Me Tooer guy. So that's when I was like, okay, total makes sense. Get his ass out of there, dude. You can't have a character in your movie me tooing people, and then in real life you got a guy in the movie me. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, okay, makes what I told. It's also I'm saying I'm not defending Chris D'Elia. I'm just saying he did something that a character in the movie that he's in did before the movie came out. So they got rid of him. Now I don't I know the story sounds like he was talking to like a 12-year-old. Something. It was I think he was like what he was doing was grooming is what they call it.
Yeah.
Like you talk to a girl until she turns 18, or vice versa. Women do it too. They talk to a boy until they turn like something like that. I think
Well,
that's what he. I'm not saying
Drake
I don't know.
Drake got accused of that with that Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things too.
Yeah, I can see Drake doing that.
Yeah. Well, it's just crazy, man, because all these people think, yeah, well, not people think, but like you get that little taste of power, and dude, you just go crazy with it sometimes, and you think you can
At this point,
do
I
it.
don't even know if it's power. I think it's just celebrity.
Yeah, well, I think that comes with a little bit of people will kind of do what
Well,
you
well, I
ask. You know
think
what I'm
yes, I'm
saying?
saying.
Like, well, if you're taking advantage of celebrity, then you have power.
Yeah. No, no, I'm saying, but if like what I'm trying to say. Oh yeah, yeah. Because if you have celebrity, because what I'm saying, if one of my favorite actors were to walk in, I'd be like, hey, look, that's him. But if no one knew who that is, like, how much power does he that or that or her? How much do they
It
have? You know,
depends on how much you give them.
how much I hype
Because
him up.
well, yeah, it really is because man, like especially nowadays with like, I mean, you could pull up IMDb and look what these people were in. Like, and what if they heard about the movie? Like, oh yeah, this is a great movie. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I get you. I
You
get
could
you.
kind of, but even then, like, okay, scenario: you're working at the restaurant, you have somebody come in that's famous. Like, oh, if I had Burt Reynolds come into Domino's, I was giving him a free pizza all day.
Yeah, I
Like
do that.
no
I
no
do that.
question asked. Like no, I would gladly pay for this pizza for Burt Reynolds. Like even though I have spent money to go see you, I will. That's
Yeah, just
that's
because
what
it's
I'm getting.
it's
And that's not even necessarily power that they want. Well, not even want, but intend to use. But I did see this video of like Adam Sandler getting rejected at an IHOP, I don't even know if it was him. It was kind of blurry, but it was like the waitress didn't recognize him, and they were like, "Oh no, it's too full." And then he just like went to the next place like a normal human being, like.
dude.
Um, but I think that's funny. Like but if I worked at IHOP, I'd be like, "Oh no, 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 I got you a table right over here, Mr. Sandler," and then I'd be talking to his ass the entire time.
Dude, we had Henry Winkler go into the steakhouse one time.
Mm.
And man, I was gonna see him on Sunday anyways, so I was like, I'll just say hi to him. But I saw him walk in the door, and I was like, oh crap, Henry Winkler's here, hell yeah! And then I noticed he's turning around and walking out, and we're like, what the hell? What happened? And then our GM just started like bolting it towards the door, not running, but like speed walking towards the door, and got his attention, got him and his handler's attention, and they brought him back, and he goes, oh no, we have a seat. He goes, the hostess goes, there's no seats. So he goes, oh no, we have a seat for him. This seat right here. And then, like he scratched off the person's name and put Henry Winkler because I was like, well, he put him in a good spot. he's kind of away from everybody, but you can still see it's him. So I thought that was funny. The hostesses were like, we don't know who he was. That old guy was. And then, dude, that's what they were saying. But these are, they're like 18, 19, 20 years old.
Hmm.
But then there was like a 30-year-old lady or like a 35-year-old lady that was like that saw him. Like I was standing, I was waiting the tables next to him. She walked right past him and saw him and said, "Oh my God, Henry Winkler!" Walked to her friend, got her phone, and then walked by his table and just like stood there. And she waited, and then like the handler saw him, and then Henry was like, "Oh," and they were like, "Okay, what's up?" And she's like, "Sorry," and she just stood there, and like while the waiter was taking the order and all that, and she was just like staring, and then waiter walked off, and she was still standing there, but like I was like, "Yeah." My 2 cents was I walked up to them and I was like, "Hey, I know you, we know who you are. I'll see you tomorrow." Like just like I want to say hi, but it's weird. So it is. You're right, exactly. If Burt Reynolds were to walk in to the RIP to Burt Reynolds, but if he were to walk in to to like my place, I'd be like, I got his meal. I don't
Yeah,
care what he orders, I got
yeah,
it.
I got you.
It's $400. I'll pay it off in 4 weeks, but I got like it's like
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, this
So kind of.
no, I just wanted to bring like
Yes.
because
No,
to me like
we
I was
definitely need
like
to talk about that because it's something that's very prevalent in the movie.
and
Um,
that character that I mean I'm not it's not to take away her performance. I was like man I don't feel like they let her do it, and also but the way they're filming it I did feel like they did over, and I looked it up. I forgot what website it was, but they did. They said that there are some like face swap kind of stuff.
mhm.
But if you notice that there's like a blur in those scenes in the casino scenes, or when the Delia character comes out, there's like a little blur, Gaussian blur that you don't see until like that character shows up, and I think they do that just to kind of blur the the switch because it's kind of
Interesting.
hard.
Yeah.
Like I noticed that the blur's not there. Even the beginning of the movie, is a weird setup. But it also gets me to the point where it's like shit happens.
Like the Area 51 one?
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of like he's guys getting he's getting fellatio from his now wife, and
Yeah.
they run into they wreck. But it even shows you these guys aren't even paying attention because the light shines on them for a while. I put Army of the Dead on now.
I wonder if the groom or I wonder if the bride is that alpha female at the.
No, they burn up. They're burned up in here.
Are
I
they
think
burned up?
they're dead.
Okay.
And there's a thing he goes, I shot the bride. I
She
shot the
does look.
bride.
She does look pretty burned up in the. No, I'm just joking.
I'm like, I don't know.
oh,
Well, I did want to see that scene where they said that they come alive when it rains, and they didn't. I thought they were going to show that. They
I
didn't.
know, dude. I was going through. I was watching this earlier, and I was like, man, I would love to seen that. But that may be for like because they're. I mean, that last picture you pulled up, it did say there was going to be a prequel in anime, so that would be kind of cool to see in cartoon. I'm not gonna lie.
That would
Um,
actually like a
um,
dark
yeah.
anime.
Um, but no, man, the way this movie starts off is awesome. It really is. Like you have "Suspicious Minds" by Elvis playing, like I said, music choice,
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
Like it because that song, it starts like, it starts off fast and then it has that slow verse and then it kind of comes back around and picks up the beat and everything. And and then you have the people leaving from Area 51. They even mention like Indiana Jones and all this other stuff and all that. And then you hear also whenever they're leaving the base, you see these two little orbs leaving the base as well. I don't know. I like I said at the beginning of the show with Facebook and everything and all these theories. That's really where I kind of my interest in this movie really peaked.
yeah,
Because my initial viewing of this movie was, I just was not that I wasn't impressed. I was just like, yeah, that was a little long. I know it's a Zack Snyder
yeah,
movie. It was a little long. It could have been wrapped up a little bit cleaner. Some of the acting was like Dave Bautista's daughter. I was just not having her, dude. And she was annoying the way she just kept on screwing everything up. And I mean, if it progressed the story a little bit more,
yeah.
I would have been more inclined to be like, okay, yeah.
There's no real payoff for that, and exactly,
No,
and there's no. It's just she's just there. Like she's not aware of the like she's not aware of the surroundings. You know.
no, not at all. And not, I mean, this, I think they even mentioned that it had been years since this happened. So, um, in that time, you, especially living right next to Vegas, you don't have any kind of situational awareness
Yeah.
about this. Just first off, that just doesn't make sense. Second off, like I said, her her actions are just they're stupid. To be quite honest, like leaving the pack to go find somebody,
Grita.
yeah, granted that this lady's still alive, but are you kidding me? Like, what are the statistics that she's still alive?
Nah, it's too. It's like yeah, like I don't know.
It's too
That's
slim to risk your own life.
yeah. That's like
Tell those kids, I'm sorry. This is the world we live in, and move on, man. Like at this point, I mean, these kids have to know. Like even they have to have better situational awareness than this chick does. Like especially whenever you see your mother getting killed, or
yeah. And then she explains it, but see that's the part. You're right. This movie is way too long, and there's way too much dialogue. This is the actions here. There's action, but yeah, you're right. The daughter, I like the coyote, but they don't emphasize on her enough. Like there's some character. I think what they tried, and also I will say that the lyric I found this. That was something
5 weeks
pretty.
to shoot. I don't
Yeah,
doubt it, dude. With all that military stuff and
yeah.
everything.
It took them 5 weeks to shoot, and the main reason was because Zack Snyder wanted to shoot it during the dawn, so he had to. He only had you only have what like 4 hours to shoot,
Oh wow,
and that guy gets his jaw pulled off. That would suck.
yeah,
But even like you see the way that guy's all jacked too, that zombie.
yeah.
But yeah,
See
5 weeks.
what I wanted to know too is watching that first sequence. Like, I wonder if those two soldiers stayed with that alpha. Throughout like
Yeah.
if we saw them later on and we just didn't know that we saw them.
Well, let me say, I don't really like the hierarchy of the zombies, but I know we need to go somewhere with this. The only reason I don't like it is that it's not explained very well.
Well, I think
They,
it's because they're aliens, CJ. I think that's what it is.
so you're going somewhere else with
I
this.
think that we think it's zombies. I don't know, dude. Have you seen? Okay, whenever you watched it, you saw like that one zombie that they killed that looked like it was a robot.
Yeah, I found some stuff on that.
Yeah, man. So like, what's going on? Is this like a cabin in the? Okay, I haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, but I know the gist of
No,
what's
you
going
would
on.
totally be you would not be far from that. You would exactly.
So
It's
I mean, is it something like that to where they're just maybe this is a simulation and they're simulating everything? I don't know, dude.
so you
Like
could yeah,
this.
that's saying you can go anywhere with that. And what you're saying earlier about the time loop, you really can go anywhere with the freaking
Exactly.
time loop.
And they set up all these other scenarios. It's like, okay, this is a zombie movie, but maybe it's not really a zombie movie. They have just like all these questions are propped up with this movie, and it's like over 2.5 hours long, or just under 2.5 hours. I can't remember exactly which.
Yeah, it's still too long.
Um, but that's a long journey to go on. But if you have questions like that popping up, then I'm gonna be honest. I'm more inclined to just like give it another rewatch and be like,
Yeah,
what's going on here? You know?
some of the zombies are robots. This is never explained in the film, but Zack Snyder confirmed it. If you pay close attention, there's a number of zombies that are clearly not zombies.
Yeah.
And then he wrote, you see normal zombies, then you see some robo zombies. But why isn't it explained?
Because they want to make a franchise out of this.
Oh, I always wondered too in the beginning when they're the Vegas trip and
See
that
right
lady.
there, I just saw it. Sorry, it's like static coming out of the zombie's head. This is close to the end.
Oh, you're at the end.
Yeah, I have 30.
Oh
It's
yeah, because the last guy that gets shot, the
let's
alpha guy,
see.
is that
Yeah,
the same guy though? Is that the same alpha? Is
which
that with the long hair? Is that him? Is his hair
yeah,
growing?
because he starts out as yeah, he has short hair and he gets yeah, that's the same alpha.
Okay, so
It's
they're
because they and that's why he wears the helmet too. Is like
oh that part too. I was like, oh
that's really
okay,
cool. I was like, all right, cool. Like you're
he knows
protecting like
enough. He knows
yeah,
enough about that.
and so that's why it kind of comes up in like, are they
Well,
zombies? Like, are
well,
they really zombies? Is this alpha a zombie and turning or is it something that's not of this world and it turns us into dead
well.
robots? I don't know, man. Like, this is a lot of
The,
questions.
there are, and the cool thing about this intro, I just got it playing now, and they're showing the I guess the buildup of what you're seeing,
Hmm.
and this threw me off too because you see and do the helicopters do the planes have lasers? I saw that too. You see this story being
Possibly.
built of like
Be
this team.
what
What's
is it?
up?
A rail? It'd probably be a rail gun, is what you're talking
Railguns,
about. Yeah.
yeah. So, and I mean, this lady actually opens the door. She sees that two of the people are bit, so she shoots them,
Hmm.
and then she ends up. So this is crazy because she's got to go and do what she's got to do, and then she dies in the intro. So
Yeah.
it's like, who is this one chick too? You see all the other ones. So I guess it's just kind of going through it like you're kind of just going through the steps.
And so, you know, watching that because watching that too, it almost you get all of the emotional stuff out of the way, so you can have all this fun and you can have all these zombies and all this witty banter and everything like that. Um, so that's why I think Dawn of the Dead was so good was just because like it built up emotions well. You felt for the characters. You understand these people weren't used to killing people, so it hurt to shoot somebody, even if you knew that they were gonna turn into a zombie anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas in this movie, they make a joke about it. It's to an extent. It's not necessarily joked about, but you have Guzman, who's over there making YouTube videos about zombie killings and stuff like that.
And that's I like that element because that would be going on in modern times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As somebody and I will say with Guzman, I'm gonna throw him a shout out. Oh, I was watching. Sorry, man.
I didn't like his character at first, but he grew on me throughout the movie. He was almost like that CJ character in this movie. You know, kind of like
a, li-
cocky
a
and
little bit. He did. I feel like there's too many characters in this movie that
I
they didn't really get to like share the
flesh.
ball.
They didn't really get to flesh everybody out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And like I said, dude, I feel like Zack Snyder made this movie in thoughts that he is going to be able to tell numerous stories over different
yeah.
mediums. So he leaves a little bit, um, leaves
You
a few
know,
questions. You know?
and yeah, you also see these other guys that they look like they're gonna be like heroes, and then they die. So like the guy with the shoots the 50 cal, but he's really put in the smoke flare so he can blow up. And then the dude that cracks me up is the dude in the he's going down from the parachute into the
Yeah,
group like
I
that.
know, dude. I
But
thought
like, why
that
does
was
he have
hilarious,
that
dude.
gun? He just has that handgun. But I'm like, well, maybe he used up all his rounds in his machine gun. But
Yeah,
I just thought I was like, dude, that would suck. You going
that's like
into
the worst. Like I was like, this is a terrible idea. Who signed up for this?
yeah. Are you sure you get dropped? Yeah, we'll just drop you right in the middle. We'll see what happens. I don't really want to go on this assignment.
Yeah,
I do want to throw some shout out to what do you call it? Guzman. He is played by Raul Castillo,
hmm
and Raul Castillo was born August 30th, 1977, in McAllen, Texas. He is an
Hey,
actor and known for We're the Animals, but he was born. He's from McAllen, so I am not from the Valley, but this cat is from the Valley, and I think that's pretty cool, man. But he's playing kind of like a Valley guy, but like whatever.
yeah.
That's a Hector. As long as it's not Hector, I'm fine with that, dude. Got
Uh,
another Hector character. But imagine if the name was Hector, it would have been Hector. But they changed it to Guzman, which I really did like that about. I'm like, oh, he got casted. That's cool. We have a repeat offender. I know that much.
yeah.
Scorpion, Hiruki Sanada. He was Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, and everyone about the Mortal Kombat episode. If I haven't mentioned it, I haven't posted it yet because it's only 40 minutes. Yeah, the provider or the software we're using only got 40 minutes of the conversation, so I don't have any more else to go. We'll have to reshoot it or something. I don't know. But anyways, yeah.
Maybe we could
So
just put, post the 40 minutes, and if one day we get the Snyder cut of that Mortal
Mortal
Kombat,
Kombat, put it up there.
it'll happen.
I
Um,
think yeah, we'll just do a short view. But
yeah, well, one thing too about this movie is so Zack Snyder has a very particular style. Um, you see it in 300, Watchmen. I mean, oh gosh, what's not Sin City. That's somebody else. But he has a very
is
particular.
he?
Even
Did he do the
Justice
Spirit?
League. No, I don't think he did the Spirit. I could be wrong though. But he has a very particular style. That very dark, gritty, like style about it. And this movie does not have that much. It has the slow mo. It has the one shot that I thought took too long, but I really kind of enjoyed the shot a little bit was whenever the zombie queen was like backing up and then it kind of went all blurry, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it was like this is a little too much, but it's a really cool shot. Like that's what I got to give Zack Snyder. Is like the movies are long and the shots are long and all this stuff, but he really like he can make a scene look so cool with just by making it blurry. Like how and that stuck out to me for first off. I was just like, that's too long, and then At first, I was like, ah, that could have done without that scene. But I mean, if it's sticking out that much to me, then that means there must be something about it.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's interesting. Another thing too is all these other Zack Snyder movies that we have, or even in Dawn of the Dead. I mean, there's resolution to it, where you really don't feel that at the end of this movie. That's why I keep on saying like I feel like it's going to be a franchise. Like this isn't this is a episodic adventure that we're about to go on, and this is just the first piece of a puzzle, and it's like putting a piece in the middle and then trying to um, fit other pieces right next
Yeah.
to it.
It's like reverse Jenga in a way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I feel like that's kind of what we're going to go down because I feel like Snyder's going to stick with Netflix. I don't really foresee the Snyderverse really coming to fruition as much as I'd love to.
Oh, the
I
DC, the
Yeah,
so what?
I
So
don't.
wait, pause on this real quick. On
Yeah,
that, are they remaking that? What's going on with that? Because that is kind of confusing. Like
with the
I'm, yeah.
Snyderverse, no, 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 no. The DC is too stubborn. If Marvel takes over, yeah, or I mean Disney. If Disney takes over, then yeah, we very well could see a Snyderverse. But no, Warner Brothers is too. I don't know whether they're
Oh,
too proud or they're not going to retcon all those movies and just start over again. Because
yeah.
they're
The
sticking by Justice
2017.
League. Yeah, I mean they aren't going away from that. They aren't saying that Zack Snyder's version is canon or
Oh,
anything.
so
So
so they basically said, "Here's Zack Snyder's version. Shut up." And that's all
yeah,
you
yeah.
get. And you're not moving on. We're moving on to with regular Justice
Well,
League.
I think it was more along the lines of Zack Snyder didn't request pay for doing this. He did it strictly for the fans.
Yeah.
Um, with that being said, if it's not going to, if it's not going to cost the studio any more than just him editing his stuff, which I imagine there was a fairly low cost to the studio to produce this. If I had to guess, I could be wrong. May need some fact checking on that. But if that was the case, and you have HBO Max, which is a um, streaming service that you need to kind of promote, this would be a perfect platform to see like, okay, you want your movie, we can do your movie, but it's only going to be streaming here. It's almost like you know, it's almost like a middle finger to them. In my like, if I was the studio, it's like, all right, you can have this. We need to
Well,
promote this anyway, and people will get hyped about. I mean, it's something that people were wanting. There's no question about that. But where they put like they could have made box office dollars off of that. They really could have.
so you
I mean,
think they
this
limit
no. I
themselves
mean,
with Netflix?
what's that?
They limited themselves with Netflix.
Uh, so I think that Warner Brothers limited Zack Snyder because they didn't believe in the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I was talking about Army. No, but I'm saying it was like because he with those movies they went out. The well, Snyder Cut didn't, but Justice League went out to the theater, to the movie theater and still made money. Where I'm
right.
looking at this one, what do you think? You think Army of the Dead with Netflix? Do you think that distributing through Netflix hurt them
No,
or?
because they had a box office release too.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it here on Wikipedia, and it says their budget was 70 to 90 million, and then their box office was 1 million. So I'm trying to figure out how this works.
That has,
Because
I mean, that makes sense though. I mean, if there's an, I mean, I didn't know that there was a box office for Army of the Dead, or I didn't know it was playing in theaters until I went and got my tickets for A Quiet Place too. It was a Netflix movie. Netflix movies don't get released in the theaters, at least not to my knowledge.
that's true. Hmm.
So I think it was just a poor. I mean, it says in select theaters. Oh, it's only in select theaters. That's why it only made 1 million.
$1 million bucks.
Yeah, I mean that's weird though because it was playing in the Cinemark right down the street from me. Um, but it may be select just because some theaters aren't open. Uh,
Let's see. There we go. So I mean, it did bring in $1 million. Yeah. So okay,
but I mean, a majority of this movie is going to be from. And see, I don't understand how Netflix makes profits off of views.
that
You
is
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Well, I guess they're. I don't think they're making their money off. Netflix is a streaming service, so you pay them. Well, now $50 or whatever you pay them now. Like
Yeah.
it's like that's like $20, but I mean it was like $7 at for a long time. and now sneakingly it's like almost $20 to pay them. So everybody has a Netflix account, so we all kind of just sneak. I didn't. I mean, they give you the emails. You never pay attention, but I never did. But they tell you. So I'm wondering because it says it still made $1 million at the box office, but I like this part though, the 70 to 90 million. When we did Christmas Chronicles, we didn't even have that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy we're at least this far.
I
Um,
agree.
'Cause I don't care about the box office if we don't have a budget. I at least want the budget
Yep.
opposed to because you're right. I think what was it we saw? It was the views. Yeah, I don't know how you turn views into dollars because it.
I mean, maybe you get new subscriptions because you advertise this movie. That could possibly be it. Is like people cancel. I'm not going to use Netflix anymore. Like, oh, Army of the Dead. Oh, and then they
Just for a little bit,
possibly,
yeah,
and maybe it's not even so much like views and stuff like that. It's just like, oh, how many more subscriptions did we get once this movie released?
yeah. And I honestly think like with this, well, the way this movie's told, the way the story's told is a little bit all over the place. So I'm hoping that it's what you're saying about they're gonna have like another Snyder universe.
Well, I could only imagine, dude, because you have to think that Snyder was like
It
he was about to do an episodic adventure with Justice League.
yeah.
He was about to tell a story throughout 3 movies and all this other stuff, and then you go you go and have that just taken away, and then you're given this deal with Netflix, and then oh, you can write and direct this movie, and all this other stuff. I could definitely see this. Even the ending, dude. Like the ending was just so not that there was no resolution. It's not
Exactly. Yeah,
that's
you're
not
right.
what Zack Snyder does.
I think you're. I
This is
think you're.
a what's up?
No, I think you're right. I think setting it up. This has to be a setup movie. There's too many open. I mean, look at this part right here. I was well, like I was questioning this, and then
Yeah,
I looked it up. An explanation as to what happens to Grita is the very sorry, presumptuously dies in the helicopter crash following the nuclear explosion that
we
levels
don't
Las
know.
Vegas. Dude, I was like, where the hell is she? You at least know that the pilot Tio she dies
Now,
because she has
yeah,
the plate going through her chest, so you see that. But it's like, I mean, the pilot, and okay, that's what I want to say about that scene where I missed her name right before the character where they're right before they I think they're already at the hotel, yeah, where Peters when she talks to Scott and she's telling him, well, I'm important here, I'm the pilot, next to the safe it's me. I can totally see Chris D'Elia like a comedian like that delivering that line, but I feel like, man, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like that they give her enough time to really build. That scene just kind of goes. But what I'm trying to say is the character to that point wasn't that. So
yeah,
it wasn't until after that scene that you kind of get more of a smartassness of her. But I think I'm trying to figure out how they actually like. You're gonna have to. You can only say these 4 lines because that's all we have. So
yeah,
that's all the space you have. I'm really trying to see how they how she was able to like really do the role and like feel comfortable in it, or they just sort of get in front of the camera and just do this because
yeah,
it doesn't really feel like it's a part, but like that scene right there, I'm like, oh, I could totally see Delia like, well, and her the way she gave it off, where I was just like, she's giving it off, but it's coming off as she's trying to be funny or comedic when she should just say the lines, but then I'm like, well, those aren't her lines. Like
yeah.
it's hard, like it's hard for
Still,
her.
still, I think I,
Oh,
I may
I think she
just be a fan of hers. I love her delivery style. And I know that's not like I, I don't know. I just have to say that I enjoy her performance. I did, even though like she hadn't even met Dave Batista, and you could have fooled me with that. I figured they would at least reshot a couple scenes together.
I mean,
Um,
I don't know. I can see I can see it. I can see the slip. I'm just picking at that because I feel like she probably could have done a better job. Not to say
if
she did give a
if
bad.
she was
I'm saying
originally cast,
yes.
it would
If
have been
if it
yes,
was her, and that's she's supposed to be the one, then yeah, I could totally see her owning it. But I feel like it's hard, and it
yeah.
throws me off a little bit. But like the other characters, you have all these like what's her name dying? Was it Maria Cruz? Yeah, the love interest when
Dude,
the way they
I
killed her.
love that. I loved it.
I didn't. The only issue I had with that is that it's a zombie. Why is he cracking her neck? Why is he not cracking her neck? Why don't he
Because
just
it's an
bite her?
alpha zombie, dude.
Does it say that? Do we know that they're alphas?
Yeah, because they're running fast. The other ones don't, they don't move like that. That's how you have the different hierarchy in the zombies. You have the ones that just shuffle
Uh,
around. You have the fast ones that
but
are
okay, so yeah,
alphas.
because
You know.
this is a different universe, yeah. So there are
Yeah.
some slow, there will be slow ones in this one. I thought they were
Yep.
all going to be fast because,
No.
but it is a different. Well, yeah, but I mean, even at that, I thought that death was good. I just didn't think it was meant for this movie.
Yeah.
Like I would think more of a you would get because you're going to get the sacrifice death. You always get that. You're going to get like you
It's
know,
that's what got me too. Is it was like unexpected, and I think another reason, like, you can twist her head around. You kind of see that smile on her face, like she was finally satisfied, like she got that last little bit off her
well she
chest.
well,
So it was like it's
she
I don't know.
cries. She shows a tear like
Yeah,
you get, like she feels finally happy, but then it was taken for her kind of thing.
yeah,
Lily, played by Nora Arnezetter. Lily the coyote. That messed me up because the freaking alpha zombie freaking impels her, and then to top it off, she gets blown up. So I was thinking like, well, she knocked off the head of the queen, so maybe she's going to be the queen. But then it's like, well, no,
yeah.
because
No,
she has to die in that explosion, doesn't she?
yeah.
So and also, well, the main what's the main bad guy's name? Zeus, I guess.
Zeus, yeah,
Yeah, I mean him. He gets his head blown off. So there was no point to see. There's some kind of
yeah.
I
If
guess
it's a
at least
time loop, there is.
if there's a time loop,
Uh,
man. If there's a time loop in a zombie movie, then it's not a zombie movie, man. I would,
well, is it really a zombie movie in the first
that's what I'm
place?
saying, and it's an alien. Then you have a good point with the cabin in the woods theory.
Yeah.
He's gonna just start clustering them all up together.
Okay, so let's see here. I just wanted to go because, like I said, we've kind of mentioned that this story is all over the place. Um, Now, I wanted to go back and look at Zack Snyder's writing credits because as a director, fantastic. But as a writer, maybe he's just not the best. Um, and I just wanted to see if that was the case. So he wrote 300, or he did the screenplay for 300. So that means he adapted the novel, the graphic novel.
Okay,
Um, he did screenplay story for Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch wasn't bad. Um,
that one has mixed reviews, I hear, and
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Is it my favorite Zack Snyder movie? No, but I did enjoy it whenever I went to go see it.
it's a really good fantasy action movie. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, he wrote the story for Wonder Woman, the first one.
The first
Okay,
one.
so that was a really good story. I really enjoyed it, but it did taper at the end. Um, but it didn't give you like it. It kind of teased that big bad villain the entire time, and then it finally gave it to you, and that was I did kind of like that. Um, let's see here. Then you
I actually
have
do like Wonder Woman, the first one. I
yeah,
tried
me too.
watching.
I like it a lot. Okay, so he is also gonna be. He has another movie coming out called Army of Thieves, a prequel set before the events of Army of the Dead, which focuses on Dieter
uh,
leading a group of survivors during the zombie apocalypse.
all right, well then,
Interesting.
yeah, then it is. Then this is the setup movie. If that's what that
But
is.
that's not directed by Snyder. That's directed by Dieter.
I thought Dieter died in the movie.
Yeah, but he's directing it. Like Zack
The
Snyder
Rook
wrote that movie, but Dieter is directing the movie. Like not Dieter as the like
character,
him in real life, Dieter.
the guy who
I
plays Dieter,
yeah, I can't say his name. It's like
Mateus Wigolfer.
I don't know, man.
That guy's directing it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Army of Thieves is the name of it. I saw it's like announced or in production or something like that. Let's see here. And
Cool.
then they also have Zack Snyder is also going to be directing Army of the Dead Las Vegas, which is a TV series for Netflix. It's going to be an animation show. So that's what I'm saying, dude. Like this is totally the start of a franchise or something that he wants to do, and he's just kind of opening up a lot of questions. He's showing you a lot of stuff. He's giving you aliens at the beginning, robots at the end, and in the middle, and he's just
So this this movie, Army of the Dead, is not a good standalone. Is what as what we're thinking, and then
yeah,
it's
no, no,
setting
no.
out because it's not a good
I
it's not a good standalone.
no,
And then also
no.
you don't know what happens to Dieter, but I see that nuclear
Dude, he
explosion doesn't.
died, dude. He totally died. There's no way
Well
he
then,
didn't die.
how's he coming on this other one?
It's a prequel. I said before.
Why no?
It's
But okay, so if it's a pre, okay, this is This is like we're going back to Terminator. This is all over the place.
Wait. What do you mean? Army of Thieves, directed by Dieter, is going to be a prequel to or Army of the Dead.
Okay, but when you click on Army of Thieves in 2021, Ludwig Dieter is in there. He's the character.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could do. I know you can do a prequel, but what would his was what I'm trying? Okay, is he pulling the Kevin Smith and having like Walt Flanagan playing all the characters, or is he actually that same character, just a different
Yes,
angle?
it's that same character, but he's a thief. That's why it's Army of. That's why they got him is because he could break into safes. So he's a thief. So he's getting like okay, so
No, I
on
get what
luck
you're saying,
leading
but
a group of survivors during the zombie apocalypse. So
well, the thing is, I'm saying is he'd seem like this is his first rodeo. If this was a prequel, then he would already know what to do, where to go, how to shoot a gun, and they were teaching him all that in the movie. So that's why I'm like, where are they going with this?
or maybe
Because it could be that this is the beginning of phase the first the
oh this
first.
is so. What I could imagine is that this is okay. So I get what you're saying now.
You know what I'm
Leading a
saying?
group of survivors during the zombie apocalypse.
But then in all the Hatchet movies, one guy plays four roles, four different people, and but he comes out in all four of the movies. So that is kind of like a horror trope now, where you get one guy to play the same role. So I don't know. Even if they
Well,
die in the
I think a lot of this too is just like more questions. Let's just add more questions to
this could so check this out. While you were saying all that, I was uploading and look at this one I found out.
that makes sense.
Snyder wrote the first draft of the script 10 years ago, so he's had time to think about it. This is our part. I thought this was pretty cool.
In the first attack scene where Zeus hunts the two soldiers on the hills, American. I did see that. Yeah.
It was an American werewolf in London using the same camera angles and dialogue for the attack. As I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that did look familiar."
Yeah.
And
Even
was that?
those characters kind of looked, or even
Yeah,
those
yeah,
actors
yeah,
looked similar to
yeah.
the.
They did that. And what else did we have? Oh, here it is. Garrett Delahunt's second death by tiger in movies. The character Martin is what I'm talking about. His first was in the film Burning Bright. Army of the Dead, however, doesn't mark his first death by a zombie tiger.
I think first zombie tiger death ever. Um,
I
I
will say
could be
that
wrong.
he did. We knew what he was. That started the thing. Now I'm starting to notice about movies that the like. I mean, look at Mortal Kombat. We if Kano didn't screw them over, it would have kind of pissed us off. But the fact that he screws them over, like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then who's Chambers? Here we go. Samantha
Oh,
Wynn. She's a
Chambers.
badass, dude.
She's also a repeat offender.
Let me see. Let me see. Chambers. Samantha Wynn. What she be offending? Oh, Justice League. Who's she in
Yep.
Justice League? Oh,
she's
she's also
she's in blah, 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 blah. She's an Amazon.
the Amazonians. Okay,
Yep.
cool. She's in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She's a stunt. Oh, she's a stunt
Oh,
actress.
stunt. Oh, well,
That's
that makes
badass,
sense, dude, because she was killing it in this movie.
dude.
Like
They
I thought
showed
she was dead, and then she bust. Even oh, Garrett Dillahunt's character, I can't even remember. He thought she was dead, and I
Martin.
was just like, oh hell yeah, dude. Like I thought she was gonna survive. I didn't think she was gonna die right there. I thought she was about to fuck him up. Be quite honest with you. I was like, oh hell yeah, she's gonna make it, and then
I was seeing how she was. Well, she was kind of a sacrifice in a way, but she's a badass. Like they
yeah,
gave her like the best. They gave her the best. What do you call it? Scenario. I mean, it's the best death scene. And
oh yeah,
also, here's the scene where what's his name? I already Dieter, where he's like, how do I kill the? How do you kill a zombie? And then they're going through the motions in their head, and it shows that one guy says, "Nah, I'm out of here." So you could even add to that guy,
oh yeah.
like that guy,
Well,
that
and they were
character.
saying in that's what the time loop thing is, because they were showing a scene where he was in it and like helping them out, and like this is what's different about this is like in that first scene he was there and then he left, so now everything kind of the plan went differently, and that's what you're seeing this time, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
I,
that's where they were kind of theorizing with the time loop or mentioning that.
I really don't like. I'm not trying to bring this up a lot, but man, I'm looking at the scene where they're going over it, and I'm like, damn, they really deleted Delia's ass, deleted Delia.
Yeah,
And it's like because it's such a I see now I'm watching it again and I'm looking through it and I'm seeing the blurriness. It's so subtle that you kind of it kind of feels like it's meant to be there when they're together, when they're
Yeah.
all together. It feels like that. Oh, and let's give a shout out to Vegas. Vegas, another repeat offender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking
From The
love.
Hangover. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they love Vegas. Swingers.
Yep.
We've had Vegas a few times.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude. I the more I talk to you about this movie, I'm starting to make more sense to me. I was taking it as a standalone. Do not take this as a standalone. It looks like it's preparing for something. As a movie as a standalone, I'm not a fan, but it's a good movie. Compared to Dawn of the Dead, too, I understand what you're saying. This could totally be an action movie. This could
Yeah.
totally be a sci-fi movie now.
Yeah.
It's not horror anymore. It's like they took the horror genre, so to speak, and then they just piggybacked on it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and they take particular things from horror movies, and then you know what I'm saying, they just like pick and choose what they
yeah.
want. But if I describe this movie as a zombie heist movie, and that's I think that is a you get your team together, bum bum bum, like
Yeah,
that song
yeah. Dun,
starts up.
dun, dun.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of see, and it has zombies in it. Like the zombie part is in there, and it kind of carries the movie along, and it makes it not another heist movie, kind of thing. But yeah, man, it's a solid movie. Um, I enjoyed it. We in we enjoyed all the questions. Like, what was that? Like, what was that? Was that a robot or was that like
It,
what
it,
is
it,
that?
it it's giving us stuff then, yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's
Why is
def
the baby blue and then it turns into it looks like it just has human colors after that? Like what's going on there? There's a
yeah,
lot of
like
questions.
is it dead? Man, I'm looking. Yeah, I do like Guzman. He does look like a guy from the valley. Like
Yeah.
I mean, he's from the valley. Like his characters, I like him. Um, I do like. I mean, this is a. I get where you're going, and I think I know what you're saying about like it's taking genres into another like the whole genre. It's moving it somewhere.
Yeah.
Where you're going. Because even like Martin's character, I'm gonna go with you. That's all I'm here for. And you always know they have some other motive, but then they use the coyote here to kind of cover up his tracks a little bit.
Mhm.
The thing about I did like the little millennial thing they pick on with Dieter when he says they're not some kind of thing. He tries to correct Japanese league or
Oh
Japanese.
yeah.
He goes,
Japanese.
you can't say that, it's incorrect. And he goes, oh, Japanesey. And he goes, well, he is actually Japanese. He goes, never mind, I'll just, but like
Yeah, you tried they kind of making fun of cancel culture there for a second.
yeah,
I like
it's
that.
like
Yeah.
oh, just PC culture if anything. That's what he's trying to be PC, and he's like, come on, dude. He's supposed to be a kid, but he's not a kid. He's 40 years old. So
Is
it's
he really
like,
40?
yeah, he's 40.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks pretty good for 40. I got to give it to him.
Well, I mean, I can tell he doesn't. He's not a kid though. He doesn't. He look good for 40, but he's yeah. When you give him with a kid, I'd have to be like, well, I guess everyone else is older,
Yeah.
and that's why I was looking at it. There's like all this random stuff I found, man. Look, they took. Here, I'm gonna just put it up here and see what. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little things when you go digging around and opposed to just doing it on the spot.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
500 prop slot machines. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. 500 prop slot shot. 500 prop slot machines were used.
And then look at this.
2,500 prop skeletons were used in the film. Oh, that makes sense. That's a lot. You would have figured they would just CGI'd that in.
And then let's see. Try this one.
Let's see here. Both of the films directed by Zack Snyder released in 2021 are not only streaming movies, but also have the longest running lengths of their genre. That's
So he
that.
owns he owns the longest movies in I guess superhero and then horror right now.
Yeah. Garrett Dillahunt is getting torn up by this tiger, man. Like this is almost like the Revenant type of
Oh, the bear
yeah, the
brawl and
bear.
shit.
Yeah, like
No, dude, I thought they did really well, and I thought it was like his face is mangled, and they really
yeah,
show it. Like I thought they did a good job with that.
yeah. It's very gory, but not all the time. It just takes those moments to really.
Yeah,
It's almost like Game of Thrones gore. Like they really get gory whenever it's somebody that you don't like. They really draw it out and kind of.
yeah. I feel like they just kind of like his character is just like yeah, we already know what you're doing. Bash on his ass.
That's crazy, man. So the official teaser trailer has Chris D'Elia in it. That's nuts. I kind of want to watch it.
Well, oh man, I wish I would look at. This is pretty cool. Unlike Dawn of the Dead, this film won't be based on any George A. Romero work, though the elements will be taken from the films. I already did that one. Sorry. This is so this is when Vander O emerges at the end and treks over the desert to find a mobile home surrounded by scrap vehicles. All the vehicles are identical models to the MASK cartoon and toy range. Yes, I said MASK, but it's mask. I don't know if you ever saw this mask or I don't know. I think it
No.
was way before your time. I was a little boy when it came out. Mask was a cool little. It was a show. Just I don't know how to explain it. Just good guys, bad guys, kind of, kind of GI Joe meets Transformers in a way. No, not Transformers is the other one. But it's like they have like these suits that they. I mean, they have these helmets and they have these cars that go with them. The cars they. It's like a car that turns into a jet. You get like a truck that turns into a boat. It's
Kind of
like
like
they
Transformers.
kind of like Transformers, yeah, but it's like human, and like the cars aren't alive like Kid or anything, but they have that sense to them. When I saw this, I was like, hey, that looks like a car for Mask, and then I found out it was a car for Mask. Like, but the car's red in the cartoon, but the it's like the old Camaro looking, like the 86, 85 model. Um, yeah, so I thought Mask is always cool, but there's quite like the trivia when you clean it up. When I kind of I have it here with like some tabs and stuff, so I can look through it a little bit quicker. And one thing I did like was this is the first movie that Zack Snyder filmed that was digital. He
Interesting.
usually shoots on 28 35 mil,
Yeah.
and that's
Hmm.
pretty cool to know that he's changing as a filmmaker himself.
Yeah. I mean, you could even tell, like I said, from the tone of this movie. I mean, this
Well, I like
doesn't
that.
feel like a Zack Snyder movie. You know?
I gotta say I like the ending though, like
I did too. Like
the
I
very end, the very the final word, fuck.
yeah.
Like the way like he's
Oh, wouldn't that be cool if he was like, fucking figures, and then ends, and that was like an homage to
to
Dawn of the Dead.
good
That
old
would have been so.
CJ.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, dude, that is kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
it just says fuck, and it's like I like that ending, and I love the ending to Dawn of the Dead, and the way that I found that little note that said, they'd rather just end it with him shooting himself, Michael, opposed to having that. He said, I guess they call it a sellout movement, a movement where he would just be like, "Oh, the good guy survives,"
Yeah.
you know.
And so I'm watching the end, and Guzman dies with an explosion, just like CJ, to
Yeah,
save everybody.
and at the same time in the movie.
Yep.
Well, but you can say that Chambers blows up, but Guzman shoots her. So
Yeah. But even then,
sorry,
like
35 worse.
whenever you first meet Guzman, I don't feel like he is that as lovable as a character as he becomes. Even then, not a lovable character. I don't want to say that either, but like a
You don't have a bad
character
time with him dying.
exactly.
I,
Well,
I said 28, 35, it's 35, 65, but I wanted.
uh,
What's up?
like you feel bad whenever Guzman dies. You know, like you're like, oh man, like
Yeah,
I kind of ended up liking him. Um, Whereas, like I said, I'm gonna just keep on harping on it. If Dave Batista's daughter had died, I wouldn't have been mad. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, okay, good, you deserved it. You're stupid.
Kate Ward. Yeah,
Kate Ward, yeah, Kate Ward. Not a
I
fan.
forget. She even punches the coyote. Like, what is
Yeah,
like? She's just
like
a problem, man. She's just
yeah. She's blaming everybody else for you know. It's not
she's
even her
the.
problems, but she's like, why are you doing this? You know.
It's true.
She's blaming the coyote for taking somebody who wants to go in with a
She
pack of
has
zombies.
kids. Okay,
Yeah,
she's doing the millennial thing. Damn it.
right.
Yeah.
She's trying to. Oh, this isn't Gita's fault at all. Gita's not the bad guy for wanting to go in there
Steal
and get
money
some
from
money.
zombies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Gita's not the problem.
I
Uh, yeah,
I
get
mean,
out of here.
I thought they were gonna. Yeah, Gita's not being selfish or anything.
Yeah,
I think the issue with the coyote is they. I honestly, I want to know more. She
yeah.
knows so much. How come we don't get to know about that? And then she dead? I mean, she has to be dead, right?
No,
And I
she's.
mean,
You said she has to be dead.
well, yeah, she's
Oh.
impaled.
Whenever you said that, I was like, she's not dead throughout the movie. I thought you meant she was like a living dead. No, no.
No, no,
No, yeah.
no.
She's dead.
I'm
She's dead.
I'm talking about hybrid cars. Oh, I thought you were talking about hybrid animals. That would be bad for everybody. I love you, man. Yeah. So yeah, because It's Ella Purnell is played as Kate Ward, and then Amari Hardwick is Vandero, and
Yeah.
then his character at the end. How the hell does he get out of that safe? If it's supposed to be indestructible, is it from the inside? You can just unlock it, or what?
I don't know, man. Maybe the nuclear bomb jarred it
it got him.
open.
It got him
But
out.
wouldn't another thing too is like, I mean, wouldn't there be a lot of radiation? I doubt he could walk
That's
out of there.
even they did say it's a low amount emitting, but nah, dude.
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
bet you it's a low amount if you're very far away from it.
well, yeah,
Like, if
and
you're
I,
right there at the drop zone, I doubt that you're gonna be like, oh yeah, there's not a lot of radiation around here.
well, this is we'll see, man. Zack Snyder's going crazy. I'm also
No,
not.
well, I mean, if like I said, correct me if I'm no nuclear scientist either. I may be wrong, but that just doesn't seem right.
But also
Um,
too with I'll say this about Zack Snyder. I'm not giving him any shit about this movie. He just finished freaking Justice League. You know, like the Snyder cut. Like that alone. That gives me two or three of these Army of Deads. I'll be fine with. But I mean, it's hard. How do you? That's literally like going on stage as a stand up, and then you have like Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, and then you have to go up. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. What am I? It doesn't matter how good I am. I'll never beat those two guys like that. So it's like I kind of see that with this movie. Kind of, it's a little bit under the umbrella or the shadow. But I mean, man. Well, good. Well, I guess it's time to do
okay,
the scores.
all right. Well, all right. I'm looking at a scene right now where you have Tig Notaro and Dave Batista in the same scene, and it's right after they leave the hotel with Zeus and everything, and
Hmm.
it's like, was that zombie wearing a cape?
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
and I can hear her saying it, and I do understand. Chris D'Elia, I feel like was that zombie wearing a cape? Like you can hear that. Like I get what you're saying there,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
I like hers. It's more of like just like a was that zombie? Like she's confused, whereas I feel like she
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like right there. That's a good point right there that you're bringing up. Right, like that's a great point because
yeah,
that is Chris D'Elia's line.
and
Give her
she said
her.
it like Tig Notaro. She's
Yes.
not going to go the Chris D'Elia route first off because she isn't him, and
What
second
I'm
off,
what I'm saying is the line should have been more. I'm not telling Zack Snyder how to make a movie or what, but I'm saying if the line was a little bit more like her way of saying it.
what if we're over here critiquing all this stuff and he was just like, you know what, you can improvise, I trust you, and we've just been shitting on all her lines
Or
this
like,
entire
well,
time,
I would.
and
That's
it was
another.
just her.
That's another thing. No, but what I'm trying to say is, and also I'm a performer. I'm going by delivery and by how she's gonna have to do it. And it's hard.
Well,
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's very hard. It's like, but I'm not saying the movie's already been shot. It would suck if
exactly,
I
and
already made a movie and I have to go back and and it's like it's not fair to her. And that's what I'm trying to say without saying it.
and
I'm really
almost you
trying
would
to say that without
almost
saying that.
you would almost have to assume that these weren't her lines because she would have to, like, the other actors are reacting to what she is saying.
Exactly,
So I mean,
exactly.
there's a very good chance that most of her lines could not have been improvised.
Yeah, like it's
Um,
it's like she's stuck. Like and like that line. Is that a cape? Yeah, you're right. That's how Delia would have said it. Was what he was like.
was that
It's
zombie
just
wearing? Like I could see him doing it right now.
yeah. Like
Like, but
that's kind of like him. And then he does die at the end. So the character does die, but it's too close to the writing source. The material,
yeah,
and it's too much. That's reality that you can't chance it. But the character that plays Bert Cummings, the Theo Rossi,
yeah.
he was in was Sons of Anarchy, and he's
He
also in
was
Luke
also,
Cage.
yeah, Luke Cage. That's what I saw him from. I was like, where have I seen him? I was like, oh, that's Shades. He was
Yeah,
he was really good in Luke Cage. I really enjoyed him. Um, but yeah, man, I think you're right. Let's get to the reviews, see what we think.
and also something that I haven't really done much light on. There's a lot of there's some Spanish in this movie, and there are Latinos in this movie. So I'm like, yes, roles are coming around.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's they did a great job in this movie as far as uh, representation goes. Like it's it's solid.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
They even
It's
have Dieter, who's German. So way to go for German representation. We need to see more of that.
I mean, but they do show the I do like the the do the well. I mean, We can pretend Martin's German, I guess, and balance it out. Not playing or whatever.
And you also have Japanesey people in here, so that's great. Oh
Japanesey.
wait, no, I can't say
Yeah.
that.
No,
Sorry, Dieter.
you can't. But let's go.
Man,
Let's go. Yeah, you're right. Let's see. So we have here Dawn of the Dead. It was released 2004, rated R, 141 minutes. Rating on IMDb is a 7.3 from 10, and out of 241,000 votes. And what you got on that Rotten
what?
Tomato?
Oh, come on.
Oh,
I guess Google Chrome hasn't gotten my favorites down yet, like Safari did.
oh! Don't put them
Let's.
against each other. Don't put your search engines against each
Uh,
other.
oh no. Okay, you're right. Google Chrome's okay, and so is Safari. They're both
They're
okay.
gonna turn on
Um,
you.
yeah, I have no good and or bad things to say about
I
either
just hear.
one. I just use
Yeah, dude, I've seen it again.
Google.
I gotta show you that scene where Peters goes down and it looks like a guy's body in a way. Like the hand and the wrist look too big.
I very well could have been, man. They're not going to get everything.
But no, what I'm
Um,
saying. No, I'm not trying to get. I'm not being one of those complainers. I'm like, oh
oh
my
no,
god, they did that. They freaking did it. Like it sounds like. I mean, I'm picking up on it. I do this stuff, so I'm like looking at the little tedious things. But when you really get to it, I knew the tiger was gonna eat Martin. It was just such a setup. Everybody's
is
running
that a
into the
tiger?
building.
You know
Yeah,
that.
and then, I mean, I don't know why they didn't shoot it right away. I don't understand. Like I would have
Uh,
killed that.
well, because I mean, you have the coyotes saying, "Don't disrupt the order." Like they're trying to play by the rules. Like they're not. That's one thing about
The,
this zombie movies. They don't have zombies running after them the whole time. Like in most zombie movies, that's honestly that's what you kind of expect, and it doesn't happen. Which is you know.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm kind of coming for that. And I mean, you don't give it to me, it's one thing, but the part where the zombies become emotional with the baby and everything, and then they start going crazy, that's where I'm a little like, oh, okay, so they're going back to their human forms, I guess,
Uh,
or they always go default that human form.
or and I I don't know, man. Yeah, it's that memory. You even see it in Dawn of the Dead. You know, you have like there is some like you said there is some part of I thought, dude, whenever Zeus was jumping into that helicopter at the very end, I thought, oh man, his head's about to get taken off. I thought that would have been kind of cool, but
Yeah, that's true.
right from the
Yeah,
helicopter.
yeah. I thought maybe something like that's gonna happen, but no, it gets all complicated. The nuclear bomb throws everything off for me because I'm like, well, then you just started from zero, but then you know, homeboy's over here at the airplane, like turning into a zombie. So is
Yeah,
he gonna survive the crash? Is that what we're is he gonna come turn? Like, why hasn't he
maybe
turned already? It's
maybe
like
maybe he will just like crash the plane. That way, there's no zombie outbreak. I don't feel like that character does not feel like somebody who would continue their life knowing that they're gonna put zombies into the world.
nah. We'll see.
I
We'll
don't feel like
see.
he is that type of character.
Well, he says it would, yeah, because he does say fuck like it's like a like like figures.
Yeah,
But also too the sacrifice thing. They didn't explore that too much, man.
no.
I wish they would have done that a little bit more. There's just a lot, but we'll find out. Hopefully they'll fill us up with a sequel or whatever prequel. But what you got for Rotten Tomatoes?
So Rotten Tomatoes for Dawn of the Dead, critics' consensus is going to be a kinetic, violent, and surprisingly worthy remake of George Romero's horror classic that pays homage, we'll say it like that, to the original while working its own terms. It's going to have a 76% on the tomato meter score with a certified fresh rating on there with 139 reviews. The audience score is going to be a 77% out of 250,000 ratings. Um, I think that is a little low on both ends, to be quite honest with you.
Let's go with the Army of the Dead, 2021, rated R, 228 minutes. The IMDb rating is a 5.9 from 10 and 98K, 98,000 people voted.
All right. As soon as I. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Army of the Dead on Rotten Tomatoes. We have our critics' consensus. Oh, we actually have two. We have critics' consensus and audience
Audience.
says. Um, but starting off with the critics' consensus is going to be um, an ambitious, over the top zombie heist mashup. Army of the Dead brings Zack Snyder back to his genre roots with a suitably gory splash. Think that's fair. Think that's And then audience says there's plenty of build up before an all out action arrives, but Zack Snyder's second zombie movie gives you characters you can root for and a solid cast led by terrific Dave Batista. That's a good one. Tomato meter, we're at 68% out of 246 reviews. We're at 75% audience score with just 250 verified ratings. So that's actually a pretty good audience score for as little um,
I don't know,
reviews as
man.
we
This
had.
has 250 and or those are verified ratings, and then
Yeah.
this one has 98K. So I'm assuming that these aren't verified or
Oh, are you looking on IMDb?
IMDb.
I bet you it's just ratings. We can. It's like we have IMDb accounts. We can do ratings on there.
Yeah, because I mean I don't understand a verified rating on that part.
I have
The
no.
audio.
That's the first time I've seen that on the
Yeah.
audience
So
score.
and it's kind of cool. It has both. You want to rate them? Because I mean these
Yeah,
scores a 77, a for the 76 and 77, and then a 68 and a 75. So we're sitting around that C to C minus grade for his movies. Dawn of the Dead. Oh yeah. All right. Oh, I already had my scores for these
oh,
movies,
let me write mine down that way.
and
Feel a little bit better.
let's see. What's the easiest way to actually do this?
All right, I got my scores as well. So,
I was trying to be all fancy, but it's not going to happen. I'm too late.
all right,
I give it an 11 for the genre, for the horror, for the story, for the characters, for the production
is
value.
that Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, I give it an 11.
Okay, cool.
Dawn of the Dead, I give it an 11.
All
It,
right,
it's got a lot of the elements that I like. It tells the story right, and it's aging well, man. That movie is it's 17 years old and it's aging very very well.
I give it a 12.
Oh wow,
I like I said, this movie it's a lot of nostalgia factor for me too. I really enjoy this movie a whole lot. I have watched it numerous times. I actually own this movie on Blu-ray. Took my hard-earned money and decided I needed to own this movie because by God, it's that. I think I picked it up at Hastings,
ah
um,
yes,
whenever that was around. But yeah, man, this is it's a solid movie. Even without the zombie aspect, it is a solid movie. It was just like an apocalypse movie. It would still be good. The zombies just add that little bit extra flair that makes it um, really entertaining to watch.
yeah,
But the actors do a great job. You really get to feel for everybody. You get a zombie baby. Um, you get a lot of stuff you haven't seen in zombie movies, like fast zombies. You normally don't get that. Like I said, a zombie baby. That's I think that's probably the first. And also, killing a baby on screen is not something you normally see, or not even on screen, but like the implied death of a newborn baby is not something you see in a lot of movies.
yeah,
Um, so you know, that's kind of interesting. It's just it's solid all the way around. It tells the story so well. So I think James Gunn had a lot to do with
yeah.
that. You know, like,
I,
all right, this is how it needs to flesh out. This is this is what we needed to do. And Zack Snyder did a great job at getting those good shots, the long shots, the aerial shots in this movie were fantastic. They were cool. They didn't seem overdone, and even the shot where the helicopter passes by, and then you just get that little, you know, those little shots where you just keep coming back a little bit further, and you see, okay, they don't just have SOS, they have help me alive in
yeah,
there,
yeah,
like all this other stuff, and it has fun without it being, like uh, the Richard Cheese little montage going on there is a great break from a horror movie too. Like you get that feeling of like, okay, these people are trying to live their lives best they can, knowing that there's a zombie apocalypse just like right outside. I mean, it's kind of what like we went through the past year or so. Like there's a pandemic going on, but we just all have to stay inside and just kind of wait it out, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, man, it's yeah, 12. Almost I really consider to give this a 13, but
it's knowing you and getting to know you the way you like movies. This is a a movie, something you're not really big in. You're open to it, but you're not.
Yeah,
But it's kind of cool that this is almost a 13 for you.
yeah.
I, I, I was gonna, you know what, man? Like I gave this a hard 11,
You know
and
what?
my other
And I'm changing it right now. It's a 13
a
for me.
13. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my God, this.
you can do that just end on the bottom because guess what? This is a 13. I'm thinking about it a little bit more. I would recommend this movie to anyone who enjoys movies, for sure, because it's a solid story. The zombie part is just one aspect of a really good movie.
I'll tell you this much. We gotta No, you're right, dude. Dude, sorry to cut you up. I was just kind of like caught up. I was like, yeah, you. In order to like really see I don't know like you're right. Everything you just said about the movie. I mean, just you're right. It could just be an apocalyptic movie. It doesn't even have to be a zombie element. It has that feeling. Um,
And plus, this is direct or Zack Snyder's first movie, and he does this well.
yes.
Like that's also very telling on how his career would end up and how it went is going. You know, it's he has
Sorry, I was
hard
supposed to.
11. Now it's a 12. Um, yeah, man, that is
All right, how do I do
all
this?
the notifications.
How do I turn it off? I have too many things. Oh, here we go. There we go. Oh, this way. Hold on. This is what I want. No, this is not what I want.
You want to
S-
have the other one on the bottom.
Yeah, sorry. Edit. Scroll.
Hey, this is why. Uh,
There we go.
there it is. Okay, it took a minute, but we got it going, man. Uh, not I wouldn't even call those technical difficulties. All right, I'm getting to the point right now in Army of the Dead where she's about to shoot her dad in the head, and she's having a real hard time with it, and it's just like, oh man,
Well, it's her fault. He's
yeah, I know
dead.
it's all her
God,
fault,
I
every
just
bit
like
of it.
it's hard, man. My son was her age, and I'm David Bautista. Like it's, I
I
don't know, son.
I would
Grab him
I
by the
would
neck and be like, "You're nope."
yeah.
Like that's it. You're gonna help me with this Krabby Patties. The reason I switched it to a 12 is because I had a hard 11, and I was like, "There's no way this is gonna go less than an 11."
Yeah,
But after watching it and talking to you, it can't stay at an 11. It has to go up to a 12.
and
I do like this movie a lot. And as I was watching it, I was like, "Damn, I've seen this movie a lot.
hmm
I have seen Dawn of the Dead a lot, and I already knew everything." But this uncut one with a 10-minute difference, you don't really see a huge difference. Like suppose something that's 30 or 40 minutes difference in the movie. But one element that I keep kind of forgetting, and it's like you hit it on the nail right now. James Gunn wrote Dawn of the Dead,
yeah,
so that's got to be a big deal. And then Zack Snyder wrote Army of the Dark. Well, he had two other writers, but he wrote Army of the Dead. So it's like, man, it shows what James Gunn did with one mind, and they did with three.
hmm
And then, do you think Chambers gets herself killed though by saying that to Martin, where she
probably.
says, "I don't trust you," and so he's
Yeah.
like, "All right," and he goes, "Screw that bitch over,"
Yeah,
like,
no, I
because
mean, whenever we were watching it the first time, uh, I was kind of thinking like, why would you even say that? Like, what's the point of what is the point of saying this right now? You
yeah,
know, it's like, yes, that totally gets her killed. If she just kept her mouth shut, she would have stayed alive longer.
like I would have just been like, "Let me get like, yeah, it's kind of weird. If it's different, I'm not in that scenario, and I'm not trained like that." But if I was making this movie, it kind of makes my character think like, why is she wanting to go? Because he does take advantage of that. He goes, but I don't get it because they're supposed to only look down.
No, he just like throws off. He's it's like they have breadcrumbs and he throws
No,
breadcrumbs over here.
I get that part, but like, what they could only look down, or they have to keep the lights off, or they have to only like. That's what I'm wondering. Like, how does she really get lost? Like, she should. Oh, okay. Well, they're going straight. I'm sorry. I thought they were like. Okay, I thought they were going in a maze in the room. No, they're just going straight, but they got to go left to right, and he throws it
It's
into a
like
group.
finding the safe path through the
Yeah,
zombies.
and he
Yeah.
throws it into the group, so she goes into the group. But
hmm
that part, dude, I'm about to hit the scene. This scene is insane, intense, man. Like
Oh
she
yeah.
takes like this. This is probably my favorite scene, and if not, honestly, because of this scene, she might be one of my favorite characters in this movie. But let's go back to it. I see this movie. I totally, and I'm gonna stick with my score. I'm not gonna put it down, but I gave it a 9.
I did too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's a good movie. I would definitely preface this movie with saying I hope you like 2.5 hour movies. Some people can't they can't sit through it, man. They really can't. Um, and it takes a lot for them to make it through. Now, don't get me wrong. This has a lot of action. It has a lot of good acting. It has a lot of stupid daughters. But it is what it is. There's the reason it's a 9 is the little things. I think that, like I've said before, I think this is going to be a journey. I don't. This obviously isn't the last bit of these characters that we're getting, but as a standalone, it's it raises too many questions. It doesn't really have a whole lot of resolution at the end. It's hard to give it, a 10 or 11 or something like that. Just for those few things. As far as now, one thing I will praise this movie for the way you've mentioned that you have the blur and everything like that going on. I didn't notice that. I was kind of keeping an eye out for it the entire time because I knew what was going on with Tignataro and Crystalia and all that. So I was like, "Oh, am I going to see any real big or real big things?" And no, I didn't. I was very surprised.
Well, the
So
character itself, if any of these characters were to get recasted, it's that one.
yeah,
And which is kind of insane because the character makes it to the end, but it is that pilot that's gonna make it to the end that's gonna die on the impact. So we knew that. But the fact that there's the dilemma, the engine keeps breaking, and that's why that part can be shot, anywhere. So that's
also,
not.
that helicopter, I mean, it's been there for what, 5 years
Oh
or
yeah,
so?
yeah.
It's been there for a while because they couldn't fly into Vegas.
I'm pretty sure they could have freaking helped Chambers out, man. They just left her there.
Yeah.
Like she's on the floor for a while, but I don't know if she got bit or not. But even at that, let's finish up the podcast with this. What would you do if you got bit and there's no other zombies? Like you kill the zombie, but it bit you, and you're in a group. What do you do?
If I'm in a group, I'd poof, I'd probably just wander off. I'd probably just leave the group.
You wouldn't even tell them, you just walk away.
Yep.
I would do a combination here of Dust Till Dawn and Guzman. I would definitely Harry Keitel's character Yusuf. I would tell them I'm bit so I could fight with them, but I'd also have a bunch of bombs on me and be like, just if, in case I actually end up killing my own platoon by accident.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, sorry. If we're in a fight and I get bit and it's like there's zombies coming all around, kind of thing. Because I was thinking in my head, I was just like, oh, I got bit and like,
yeah, no, I changed
you
it a little
know.
bit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
so
It's just there's different scenarios to where I know that seems kind of weird, but like if I was like if I got bit while there was something we got away and it was all quiet and stuff and
yeah.
we were off on our own, I would just like go off on my own and then just die and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe being a zombie isn't that bad. Um, but if it was like a situation where these zombies are coming and I could save somebody, um, yeah, I'd choose to save somebody for sure.
No, 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 I
I'd
wouldn't.
sacrifice myself. Yeah,
Yeah, I would do the bomb thing. Just be like, I got to go anyways, right?
yeah. But
Everybody's running.
preferred way if I get bit and we get away and there's no like you know immediate danger to the people around me from myself,
Yeah.
um, then yeah, I would just kind of go away.
Uh, See, that's crazy. She falls. I'm sorry. All right. So where are we going to next? I'm all like, dude, they could have saved her.
Yeah,
Yeah. But where are we going to next? So these movies aren't. I mean, well, Dawn of the Dead is a damn good movie.
yeah.
And this movie, like I said, I'm waiting for the filler. If it's filler, it's a film movie. It gives you everything. Yeah, let's watch it. Let's get ready for the other ones. See what they got. See what Zach's got to bring. But where are we going to next? What are we thinking? Where are we going with this?
Um,
Do we do any? Hello, everybody. Do we
Hello.
do any repeat offenders? Are we looking for anything that's popular right now? Or is there?
I came into this one blank, man. I have no clue. I'm
No.
this normally I have something. I'm like, hey, I want to do this. Hey, I want to.
I will say that Dave Bautista's acting is really good in Guardians of the Galaxy because that Drax character is kind of written for him, but he's not that review about his acting. He's not. I wouldn't see him as an actor. I mean, he's an actor, but I don't see him
Yeah,
as like. I'm not looking at his acting. I'm looking for his other stuff,
yeah.
and because it's also the whole. I've noticed that if you put Dave Bautista with glasses and nerd glasses, apparently he's a different character. So I see them trying to figure it out. He's a big ass dude, man. And so in that sense, there's other action movies come to mind. Also, I had something loaded before this, but now I kind of forgot it, and I'm like, let's see where we go. I was also thinking, well, comedy. It's also summer starting. You think I got anything for summer?
Blockbusters. That's whenever I think of May, June, July, I think of blockbusters. Um, let's see. Do we have anything coming out this week that we could watch? I mean, oh, we could
Uh,
get to the point now where we could start going to the movie theaters and watching movies.
oh,
Wouldn't that be something?
yes.
Doing side by
Says
side on
we'll,
concurrent
we'll
stuff.
do it at the at the movie theater with my cell phone and telling my kid. Shh, 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 shh. Let's see. Well, what do you feel like watching? This is a good thing for us. What are you in the mood for? I've been getting on Amazon and HBO Max and just kind of going through the sci-fi section. I've been hitting that up a little bit.
I
Um,
am kind of sci-fi. I'm always down for sci-fi for sure. Um, Action sci-fi. I think that would be a good route to go, especially with the summer coming up. I mean, oh, we could do Aliens prequels, do Prometheus
ooh. I was
and
also going to say because we
Alien
did
Covenant. Those
we did Eddie Furlong not too long, or like 2 weeks ago, and I was thinking, man, we should do T1 and T2,
mm, good.
Terminator 1, Terminator 2. Just get it over with. Just the
Just the
sci-fi.
hits. Yeah,
Yeah, I like. I mean, those are blockbuster. Those are stories. I think 1 and 2 is pretty good.
yeah, and
But I don't
definitely
want to
summer
just.
movies.
The only reason I'm going with that, well, now it's like a blockbuster and whatnot. But I'm also trying to see like I don't want to force it. I don't want to just throw it in there. But I've been wanting to find a way to get to T1 and T2, and we kind of did, and we skipped on it. But I don't want to go back. You know what? What if? Let's see. Well, I don't want to. We don't want to. Do we want to stay? Because I was like, well, there's Watchmen, but I don't want to. Stay on Snyder back to back.
No, I think you kind of mentioned it. Like, would you have thought of Arnold Schwarzenegger as a movie star in Terminator?
If I only saw Terminator first,
Yeah,
I don't know. I have to rewatch. No, I don't. I don't know, man. I see him as. I don't know.
no.
As a movie star in
It
Terminator,
I
I
mean,
don't
he was in
know.
Predator and everything like that. And he
Oh
did
yeah, if
well.
you can, if you're gonna compare the blockbusters, then yeah, yeah. But if you
But
just
I
show,
mean,
if I
I
just
guess Terminator was before Predator, wasn't it?
84, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was about 2 years. I think Predator's
Damn. So
87.
T2 came out like almost 10 years later.
Was it 92, 83?
It would have had to because yeah, that would have made sense.
Actually, I think it's 1990, dude. I'm not.
No, no, it's like 93, 94.
Terminator 1991.
Okay.
7 years later. Yeah, because I remember it was like there's only a few movies I remember watching with my dad, and that's one of them.
Ooh.
Terminator 2. I was like, well, I was like in first grade. Do you want to do Terminator 1 and Terminator 2? Because I'm down with that.
I like it.
But there's also Die Hard. We could go watch.
No, that's a Christmas movie.
Oh yes, yes,
Um,
yeah. We'll see.
yeah,
We'll see it at
you said
Christmas.
like summer movies, and I was thinking, well, Dave Batista, we could do Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
It could get us into the MCU.
Yeah, could. I mean, honestly, if there was a couple movies to get into the MCU that weren't like necessarily MCU movies, those are two good standalone movies because they don't have anything to do with the Avengers or Iron Man or anything like
Yeah,
that. You only get Thanos. I mean, that's really the only.
connecting factor. That's
Yeah,
the only one you need.
yeah.
You want? I'm down for that.
You want to?
Yeah, because also we're moving in with James Gunn, and I don't really know what's going on with that cat. Like I don't.
Oh yeah, dude, James Gunn. That'd be a nice little
So
connection too.
yeah. So should we? You want? I don't mind doing. I actually. That's because I have the original Guardian of the Galaxy comics, so I got
Yeah,
them.
bring
So
him on next time we
yeah.
talk too. For real, I want to see. I want to see pictures. I want
All
to
right.
see.
So we're moving on. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll upload the old Streamyard a little bit more. Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's see. So we're doing. So that's 2014, and the other one was what 2016,
2017.
2017. So we're almost done here. Sorry, everybody. Um,
But takes
and
place in 2014.
this all the loops they're everywhere. And then let's see, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Let's see. All right, here we go. I got them right here. So we have Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, so sorry, let me collect myself. We just finished doing Dawn of the Dead and Army of the Dead, both Zack Snyder films, and now we're moving on to Guardians of the Galaxy 2014, PG-13, 2 hours and 1 minute, and then we'll also be doing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017, PG-13, and it's 2 hours 16 minutes.
How long was the first one?
2 hours and a minute.
Hmm. Got an extra 16 minutes. Good job.
Yeah. So let's do it. Let's go this round. Bautista
Yeah.
is the way to go. And I think you could always get to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So
We'll make our way there.
hey, everybody, he's on my radar. So,
Sure. He's
uh,
he's coming around. Watch, we're gonna
well,
get him on Twins
yeah, and
and
Junior,
Junior first.
Junior, Twins and Junior. That's how I thought about that too. I was like, I should throw that to bed. We should watch Twins and Junior, the Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger
We should
movies.
watch. Well, not. I guess not multiplicity. Man, I want to get that in here
That's
somewhere.
that's a Michael Keaton movie. That's
Yeah.
my bread and butter, baby.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we're at the end of the episode. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully the audio will be and that's another
Hopefully,
thing.
I stay near the mic.
Hopefully the audio will be going well. We're getting it. So season 3 is we're going where we need to go. But Ben Hameen, you have anything to say?
I can't wait for next week, man. I love these movies. It's gonna be a good time.
I got to bring some prior knowledge, and
Yes.
since I do have my comics with me, I need to.
Please do, and because I feel like that really brings to a lot to the movies, especially somebody. I'm strictly a movie watcher, man. Not much into comics, so anything you have to bring as far as comics goes, I like hearing that because I'm like, how does that connect to the movie? You know? Um,
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get there. Well, let's get. You know what I should have been doing this whole time? See, it's like I'm. That's what we need to
play
be
the
doing.
song. Oh, play away, buddy. Hey,
So we're getting ready to set it down. Getting down with some Dave Bautista.
hey.
Getting down with a little bit of Vin Rames. I like the way
Buff,
he got. I like the way
buff
he got.
dudes
Yeah,
whooping zombie ass. That's what we had this week.
dude. If we get Vin Rames and Dave Bautista zombie movie, there'd be too much. There'd be too much.
They'd have to kill one another.
They'd have to kill all the zombies and
What
then
if,
they go
what
up
if it was
against.
like a assassin movie, but then like zombies were in the background?
Dude, they just made a new assassin movie. The assassin, the bodyguard's wife. Now I'm like, do you guys have a third one?
I want to see it, man.
I'm like,
I want to see it. Yeah, the bodyguard's wife's son's bodyguard.
yeah. Well, you know who's in
Hitman's
it.
wife. Yeah.
You know who's in it, right?
Selma Hayek.
Well, who's the main actor?
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson.
And who's the other one?
Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it.
who is it?
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah,
he's alright.
that guy. Yeah, I might have to watch it.
Yeah, I heard he was in. Oh God, he was in Ted. I loved him in Ted. That was great. Yeah.
God, what's his name? Mark Warburton. You got to make out with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that being said, we'll let it go. One of my favorite podcasts right now. They had we talked about Sam Jones during the stream last week,
Oh yeah.
and I said when I met him, I was like, I got the same reactions from other people that he's just a bunch of energy. He's like, he is cool, man. I like him, but he's super strong. I don't think he realizes that. You're shaking my hand. All right, peace.
Have a good one.